When constructing a split push composition, there are somewhat obviously two main factors, the side laners and the group. But within these categories, there are key aspects that need to be considered to constructing a composition that can successfully utilize side lane advantages without being overwhelmed by the enemy. In the side lanes, there are three main factors when choosing your split push threats. The major factors are threat, survivability, and mobility. Threat is simple. How can the champion develop advantages in the 1v1/1v0? If we look towards Secret's composition, we see the two main ways this occurs. Renekton generally has kill potential on the enemy champion that matches him, while Twisted Fate has excellent tower damage and wave control. The Twisted Fate can of course kill the opponent, but it's much harder, so it relies on the speed at which he can shove a lane and take a tower in the moments he's left to himself. The ability to survive when the enemy tries to collapse on you is important. Now this doesn't 100% mean you have to escape, as long as you can waste time. The quintessential pick for this in casual play is 𝗀𝗚. His E allows him to take paths that are difficult to follow, and even if he cannot escape, his ultimate buys him a guaranteed 5 seconds where he gets to waste the opponent's time. The third trait, mobility, in this situation refers not to the champion's individual ability to reposition, but their ability to roam the map and join their team if necessary. This obviously can be cheated with Summoner Teleport, but champions like Shen, Ryze, and Twisted Fate have ways built into their kit that let them cross the map, which exemplify that they can be great split push threats by having the access to multiple teleports on a much shorter cooldown. So how do the choices made by the two teams we're looking at hold up? We've discussed Secret's threat, and the Twisted Fate is shared, so we'll look towards Camille at the moment. There we see a much more nuanced story. Early game Camille doesn't provide all that much threat as a split push. Her early game damage isn't there, she's heavily item reliant. However, as the game goes on, she develops into becoming one of the biggest 1v1 threats, and she can deal insane structure damage with her Q reset. So while it's a scaling option, the threat certainly does exist. Moving to survivability, Camille is the star among the three picks. Her access to CC, untargetability on her ultimate, and ability to cross walls means she can be a very slippery champion. Renekton can also make great escapes with the correct use of slice and dice, but his survivability is much lower. However, he can generally stall out a kill or turn it around in a 2v1 with Dominus and 𝗀𝗄𝗎's healing capabilities. Twisted Fate only has two options if he's caught out, red card or gold card. His ability to get around being caught is preventative rather than reactionary. He requires good vision setup, which allows him to back away from approaching enemy champions, and he can use his ult if necessary. If the enemy champions are on top of him though, he either has to outplay or stall it out with the Sonya's Hourglass. Of the three, only Twisted Fate really offers mobility in their kit. Hookshot and Slice and Dice can make pathing shorter, but these champions mostly rely on Summoner Teleport to get the rotations to their team. Overall, both teams have fairly good choices for split pushes, but this is the easy part of choosing a comp. The overlooked part is often the 3-man stack in the mid lane. The jungle, support, and AD carry stack has to be a strong foundation, meaning they have to be able to withstand disadvantageous fights and not give up too much. Certain aspects in game will of course change this, as in early game throws, but at an even state the theory is this: they need disengage, they need wave clear, and they can also rely on pick potential and burst. But this is a lesser factor. Disengage is clear. In a 1v1 situation, you're likely to be fighting 3v5 around your mid turret. As such, you need to be able to stop attempts from the enemy getting on top of you. Obvious choices in the support position include Braum, Janna, Nami, and Alistar also provides a role, but he's not really shining in the current meta. AD carries with CC also showing here. Ashe and Varus have great ultimates to disengage. Draven, his E is excellent at this. Caitlyn and Jhin have traps that can make it very difficult for them to find angles, and Ashe also has that hawk shot to spot out these engages. Jungle picks also can provide this. Gragas with his ultimate, Trundle with his pillar. These are excellent choices to dissuade. Wave clear is also important so you aren't bleeding gold through structure damage. Having damage from your jungler is important if your bot laner isn't a mage or one of like Jinx, 𝗬𝗲𝗺𝗃, or lethality Varus. Gragas Q with AP is a great skill for this, as is Graves' Q. ADCs that naturally build Runards also have decent wave clear potential. Now burst and pick are not a crucial aspect, but the ability to find a quick pick on someone who overextends when trying to push that engage is always nice to have and builds you an advantage. So let's compare these bases. In terms of disengage, Secret has a lot from the Braum pick alone. Ashe ult and volley can also keep champions in bay, as does the Graves smokescreen. Meanwhile, Set Ezreal has very few forms of disengage. Ezreal can slow on the Iceborne Gauntlet and use his E to escape, but Set provides minimal if none at all. The champion has excellent peel, but in doing so generally has to commit himself to the fight. Moving on to wave clear, Secret's access to Graves and Ashe having Runards means their wave clear is very, very potent. It's not the best, but it's actually very good. Meanwhile, Ezreal, though he has that little bit of AoE through the Iceborne Gauntlet, does not do much. Set can add a little bit extra with the Haymaker, but it's an important cooldown, and if the enemy team sees that used for wave clear, they can capitalize on it. So in this comparison, we see Secret's comp basically ticks all the boxes, while the bot lane for Flash is a very weak center point for this composition, and that can be capitalized on by the enemy team in a 1-3-1 situation. Now none of this actually matters because this is the VCS and everyone just team fights.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to our match of the week. And while Vinnie may not be here physically, he has at least recorded a message that we just saw before. We'll have to see if our teams will take his words to heart Unfortunately, I think only one team would ever listen, because GAM does not take advice from anyone. GAM plays their own game. Team Secret, however, has to try and counter it. This is our match of the week. This is an absolute cracker. Second place team taking on third, though some in the world would say that Secret deserves to be first. We'll have to get into that soon. It is banger matchups across the board. But of course, the big one is up in the top lane. 𝗬𝗃 taking on 𝗀𝗃. 𝗀𝗃, the eternal rock in the top lane. The Rock of Gibraltar taking on the new upstart 𝗬𝗃. He's pulled out counter picks. He's pulled out wins. He has been dominating. Who will come out on top? Yulwei, get us into it.
I want to start with exactly where you left off, with the top lane matchup. 𝗀𝗃 against 𝗬𝗃, our featured matchup in the match of the week. Those two have been super impressive for these two teams, and 𝗀𝗃 is right now very close in our leaderboards for MVP points. He could get the first place after today, overcoming 𝗀𝗃, who currently leads it. And I'm especially excited because 𝗀𝗃 has already shown this week that he can actually play the Jax as well. Jax so far, the 𝗬𝗃 special, we know he's kind of a Jax one-trick in solo, or he was a Jax one-trick in solo queue. And his Jax and how Team Secret plays around Jax has been absolutely incredible. My favorite champ player combination so far to watch, I'd say. But 𝗀𝗃's Jax was very strong against Flash as well. Even though they lost the last game, he still had like a 5-0-7 scoreline at some point.
I think Wukong might be the biggest trap pick in existence between these two teams. If you pick Wukong, you might just be throwing the game with how well both of these players counter it.
And on the red side might be the biggest asset right now. I'm not sure which team gets red side more often in the series, but that might just be the deciding factor. Because especially if you look at GAM stats, they are way, way, way better on red side. They have double the win rate or even more than that on red side. So really focus on counter picking, which makes a lot of sense in their solo queue-esque style. If you give them good matchups, they can shine. They can bring their very, very strong early game, their mechanics to the table and run away with the game. While on blue side, when they pick more normal meta comps, sometimes they just can't get ahead and just fail to do anything in game. So I feel like red side will be a very big thing to overcome for either team. And whoever gets the first blue side victory should be able to run away with this game, as red side is heavily favored.
It makes a bit of sense there, not gonna lie. Now, of course, it is a bit of a stylistic mismatch here. GAM is unbridled aggression. Their top side is fight, 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 and if you haven't got it yet, fight some more. They are the definition of the VCS. They have not ever heard of the word macro. They only know kills. Team Secret, on the other hand, has developed that more thinking man's style. Though, of course, they can bring the thunder when it's needed. I am a little bit afraid because there are two parts of a game of League of Legends. There is, of course, what happens on Summoner's Rift. But there's also what happens in Champ Select. And I feel like GAM isn't going to play the first half. They can't possibly lose. They'll pick things. It won't really matter. But Team Secret could lose in draft. We'll be heading straight in to find out. Gonna be tricky. GAM starts blue.
GAM starts blue, so that's already not great for them. They are way better on red side, as I alluded to earlier. To point out some of the draft things that will be interesting to follow. DR1, 5 games on Jayce. Then we have 3 games for 𝗀𝗃 Jayce, so 8 games between the two of them have been on Jayce. We have a lot of AP Shyvana, most played champ for Levi so far. So we see the trend towards very, very strong mid-game poke style for GAM. And no AP Shyvana bans so far for Secret. Yep. Maybe they want to force him on something else, or maybe they want him to bite the bait, and Team Secret has something prepared for the AP Shyvana.
Yeah, we'll have to find out. Does GAM want to play the hardcore poke into this one? It would be very bold, for sure. But we'll have to find out if they will go for it. Pantheon banned. It's open still.
I personally wouldn't mind it too much because, in my opinion, GAM, the poke style, if it succeeds, it's one of the hardest to counter. So even a very good team like Team Secret will have problems to do anything against the super fat Jax and Shyvana just nuking them down from 1,000 range away. So I actually think like that's one of the best things that they could go for into one of the better macro teams in Team Secret.
Yeah, this is interesting. I'm not a big fan of that first pick. They've gone the bear. Of course, if anyone's going to play it right, it would be Team Secret. That's not too bad. And the Syndra secured, but look at that. Levi and 𝗬𝗺 pick the dynamic duo. You can imagine them back to back like Team Rocket saying, we're going to get you killed from 2 screens away. They lock in Shyvana and Jace.
Will Team Secret forgo their last pick advantage for top lane? We talked so much about 𝗀𝗃 against 𝗀𝗃. 𝗀𝗃 has been the #1 counter pick player in the league. But now looking at DNK summoner spells, it looks like DNK wants to go for the Graves again with Ignite and Smite. So not very likely to go Volibear jungle, which would mean they don't have the advantage of the counter pick. Maybe they still open up the flex, because of course DNK can just swap the summoners. It's not set in stone that he's going to go for the Graves again.
He's definitely not going to go for the Graves, as it was banned.
Oh, fair enough.
GAM
I didn't actually get
that.
that.
I think he just hasn't updated his summoners yet. That's okay. He'll fix that up. And
so it's actually a 𝗁𝗂. Fair enough.
Ooh, that'd be intense. I love 𝗁𝗂. I don't love to play against him. I love playing him.
Oh god.
𝗁𝗃 removed.
And you hate me for my champion pool. I just...
I don't play him often. Every now and then when I decide to make 5 people on the enemy team just not have fun for a little while, I bring out the 𝗁𝗂. But it is Nidalee and 𝗁𝗃 removed. A good ban here against DNK. And you can see he's already gone back to the flash. No big cheese. 2 engaged.
Actually, the first Bard game for Team Secret. They have 2 supports, and neither has played Bard so far. A lot of Braum in there, a lot of 𝗁𝗃, some Karma, some Leona, some Set, but no Bard so far. One of the highest win rate champs right now in the league. Mostly due to the 5-0 score for Unofficial, of course. But still, quite interesting that they opt to go support this early on. No support counter pick. And Bard is a very good blind pick because there isn't really that many matchups where he struggles in. He's very versatile. No ADC picked so far.
I also like the bans of the 𝗁𝗃 and the Nautilus because so far, yeah, you've got the crazy poke of the 𝗬𝗺 Levi combo, but you don't have Engage, and Tristana comes in for Celebrity.
We're going for a kill lane.
Okie dokie. Bard Tristana against, and to be fair, that's not a bad idea. Celebrity is one of Team Secret's stars, while the eternal story of GAM is a weak bot lane. Why not exploit it? Rip it open.
And GAM is playing 𝗀𝗃 again, so we were really questioning which ADC is actually now the starter for GAM, as they played with Jisoo for a while, they played Gense for a few games, but 𝗀𝗃 seems to be back in. There was a rumor he was ill, so hopefully he's feeling better and able to play against a very, very strong team in Team Secret. It's quite an important match for GAM. If they win here, they tie Team Secret and 𝗁𝗃 at 2nd place. The last rotation coming in for GAM. It's all about protection and strong laning with Karma, and the blind pick in the top lane could be Mordekaiser. Instead, the on for 𝗀𝗃. Oh, we have bad memories with that one.
He has a pretty mean on, but it's not what we want him to play.
So this opens up Kayle. We have seen the Kayle already for 𝗀𝗃. Kayle into long range is not the greatest. It's not super great. Could also just go Wukong.
Yeah. I think
makes a lot of
good
sense
here. Part of the engagement. No! 𝗀𝗃 throws again. He's gone up to 𝗀𝗃, smacked him across the face with the glove, and he demands satisfaction. And it will be Camille's at dawn. Pick that up. This is an aggressive team from Team Secret. They have the damage. They have the punch. I assume those champions are about to get swapped. Guys?
Looking at the summoner spells, I definitely think they'll swap. Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
We just saw the very nice video from Vinnie about split pushing, and here we go with the premier split pushing champ, the best side laner in the game, in my opinion. Not because she's the best duelist, but because she's a strong duelist, has pretty good safety, and has one of the biggest power push abilities in the game. She's unbelievably fast at pushing down turrets with her Q. So
pretty ridiculous. Those blade legs are swinging. And this is an interesting matchup. This is not really where I expected it to go. I didn't expect a Tristana ADC, but Vinnie, I don't know if you're in the chat right now. I hope you're feeling better. And I'm pretty sure he got sick because he might have looked into the future, because he talked about in a split push comp, you need to make your 3-man core or your 4-man core, depending if you're going 1-4 or 1-3-1, very strong. And I believe Team Secret was listening, as this is a strong core and a very good pair of split pushes if the volley gets ahead. Or just the one split push if it's just Camille.
Yeah, one of the highest wave clear ADCs in the game, of course, with her E, with her passive and the active of the E. Both are very good at helping her wave clear. She also has one of the longest ranges. She's super safe, so very good option to provide a lot of safety in the mid lane, to give a lot of time to the Camille. She needs 2 items to really function. Camille can move into a split pushing position at Trinity already, but she really gets annoying once she hits 2, once she hits 3 items in the late game. There's really nothing that could stop her anymore. So let's see how Team Secret is trying to bring 𝗀𝗃 into that position. They've been playing very top lane focused with to a lot of success. So let's see if DNK does that again. Ornn can fall to early dives. They have a lot of CC between the two of them, and PTA and Conqueror as well, amping the damage.
I also feel like it's going to be very difficult for 𝗬𝗎love to do his job. This is not an easy comp to play Aphelios into. You're very immobile. You can get hit by a Bardol. You can get hit by a Bard stun. Celebrity is a long-range ADC, much as the game goes on. Artifact hit stuns from downtown. Not going to be easy. And have a look at this, the early aggression. 𝗀𝗃 is here to play. He knows 𝗂𝗃 is the one. Ooh, nope, he skills up the charge and gets away. Well done, but it is going to be a blue buff steal. Not immediately answered.
Don't level your spells if you're scouting for your team, guys. Yep. That was almost every Ornn would have flashed there, because you don't level E at level 1, of course. It's a very, very bad laning choice. But instead now, Levi is going to immediately answer with the blue buff steal of his own. It's warded though, so can they prevent this from happening? Bot line seems to be in favor of Team Secret right now.
I haven't seen him yet. He blast coned over, and the ward was in the blue brush. I think we will just get vertical jungling, but Levi actually comes out ahead in this trade because he stole the wolf camp, and DNK did not stick around for that one. So early
He's
game.
Now
David to
been seen. We see the Bard moving up, so they want to contest this one, but Karma is shadowing him, and now Venus in a little bit of a position.
This is going to be a bit weird, as Celebrity is here flashing over the wall. DNK doesn't stop. Venus throws a really horrible stun, and they're diving in the magical journey. They go forward. They desperately want to kill this Shyvana, and they're so close. Come on, do they have anything left in the tank? No! Levi gets away on a sliver of health, and Venus has got to be kicking himself.
Everyone flashed from Team Secret. This is such a horrible outcome for them. They will have big problems staying alive in the bot lane. At least they have a little bit of safety between the two of them. But they invested everything to get an early kill for Celebrity, to stop Levi's counter jungle. Instead, now DNK behind. The bot lane exposed in terms of summoners, so it's easy for 𝗬𝗎love and Slay to just farm up, get into a better position. What a great start for GAM, though. That is exactly what they wanted to do. They are having their cake and eating it too, especially Levi, who only
it was luck. If things go properly, they die there. Venus should never miss that stun. That should never happen. That stun should hit 100% of the time.
Yeah, you're right. There was a lot of luck for Levi. Also, DNK actually missed his smite, super close smite. If you got the smite down, I think you would have hit level 3 there. So
yeah, true.
That would have changed a lot too. Levi getting the blue buff just with an auto attack, as both smites kind of fail. I think Levi didn't have a smite available. What a close exchange. Interestingly enough, Team Secret is still ahead in gold, but that is only due to the top lane difference.
Yeah, I mean, DNK did at least know Levi had to back. He was so low, he couldn't take his camps. So he did double scuttle him. Getting double scuttled sucks, but I think Levi is still happy overall. And every get, I guess the saving grace is it's a Shyvana. Is she going to gank before the flashes come back up? Probably not.
That's
right?
a good point. That's a very good point.
So maybe it's okay, but I'm a bit worried.
It doesn't actually do that much negatively for Team Secret. The only thing it takes away is their aggression. So this is actually kill lane. They have so much damage between the two of them. If Venus ever hits a stun, you have press the attack Tristana super fast at getting her E to explode. So you have double jump, that's 95 base damage. So that's 190 damage, just with a double jump damage, plus the E, plus press the attack, a hail of blades. So you are definitely looking for a kill down there. That possibility is now kind of gone. It's not going to cost them anything in terms of them going down, but they kind of counted on the fact that they would get at least one kill in the lane. So they have to adapt their game plan now.
And I think they already are. I'm actually pretty happy with this. They've still got priority in the bot lane because flashes or not, Aphelios Karma's not killing Tristana Bard. Just not how the matchup goes. So they still do get this first Drake, and the flashes should be up for level 6 on Volibear, and we know what that does. A Volibear gank at level 6 is pretty scary when it's got a Bard and a Tristana to help it set up. You Bard ult, let your Volibear get close, the tower comes back, he turns it off again, you're probably getting the kills, right?
Yeah, that's so much immunity to the turret. So I definitely agree there's a good potential. Other than that, I am super excited to see what happens in the next 2 minutes because Team Secret is the best Herald team in the league by far. They've made so many good moves around the Herald, and usually the objective where they accelerate their early game, on average up more than 1k gold as well. So let's see what they bring to the table in this game, or if they cede control over top side and try to force bot lane focus plays. Top lane, in the meantime, 𝗂𝗃𝗃 has been able to catch up in CS. Surprisingly, he was 20 CS down early on.
Yeah, it's because of the TP. He TP'd back to lane while Code had walked after the first one, so there's a teleport advantage traded for a little bit of farm as Dia1 is getting engaged on, but 𝗂𝗃𝗃 is here. He just walked down the river, and that's first blood going over to GAM. It's an absolute disaster.
Oh,
they roamed everyone here. They get 3 kills, and that, my friends, is the GAM aggression.
Here we go. DNK way too far forward. No ultimate to jump over the wall. No flash either. So he was caught between a rock and a hard place, quite literally. And 𝗂𝗃𝗃 with a good roam, faster on his roam than 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃, also forcing the TP afterwards. So even though you just pointed out he cheater recalled into top lane with his TP, he now doesn't really pay back. The 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 can't pay back because his TP was used mid lane to not get anything. GAM with a perfect start, 2 kills over to Levi, who's going to be super, super annoying in the mid game and has so much damage.
This is very disappointing, I'm not going to lie. You had to read that if you're Team Secret. Everyone's missing. You know how GAM plays. They're not trying to just get easy back. They're setting up for kills. Come on, boys. You've got to read that. But, of course, go back on the other side. GAM did execute it with brilliance. Both sides of the river collapsed at the exact same time. DNK trying to get this blue buff steal and should be able to get it. Levi's very far away.
And they are already pinging the Herald, GAM that is. So 8 minutes in, the Herald has spawned. We know Team Secret is very focused on securing that objective. Interesting enough, though, they wanted to go for the Shelly bargain. They have a very good tower turret pusher in Tristana themselves. So it actually ends up being everyone collapsing on the Herald and Team Secret with no priority on their favorite objective early on.
So far, Levi spotted. It looks like they're just going to give this one up. I think that's not a bad decision. You fluffed the early game pretty badly here. I think Team Secret just slowing it down, saying, right, just don't get further behind. It's only 1,000 gold at the moment. It'll get a little bit bigger with Herald. but we're okay. Just slow it down. Let's go kill 𝗚𝗔𝗺. That's not slow. And Celebrity gets the kill. That is what you do with the Volley Bear. I'm so happy to finally see it.
This is also comes back to the Herald point. This time, Team Secret made the judgment to not go for the Herald, even though they like to play around this. They wanted to use their very special composition with one of the strongest turret-pushing champs in bot lane, Tristana, to get plating Seer, but now she's caught with the teleport behind her.
She's dead. 𝗚𝗺 gets this kill 100% of the time. He baits out the shock blast, but 𝗚𝗺 will flash to follow and bring down the hammer.
As well played as he could play that, waiting in the bush there to force 𝗚𝗺 to flash behind him. So at least they got the flash for 𝗚𝗺 and the teleport. Yeah. Honestly, the best trade they could have hoped for there. Yeah. Another play to Artifact in the meantime too. So TS kind of closed the gold gap after a disastrous fight in the mid lane to now only 800 gold between the two teams.
Absolutely. Of course, it is a bit of a deceptive 800 with that Rift Herald still locked and loaded in Levi's inventory. They will be able to drop that for a few hundred gold whenever they like, as long as they do it in the next 3 minutes, which of course they'd have to. Otherwise, 𝗀𝗃.
We have a TP advantage for 𝗂𝗃. 𝗀𝗃, of course, TP'd way later into mid lane, and he's still clearing top waves, so this dragon should go over to GAM. Let's see if Team Secret even tries to contest. They shouldn't. Right now, they're resources aren't really in their favor, so GAM should just take this free dragon. Of course, Shyvana is very happy with that. She likes the extra resistances, up to 10 now, 10 MR and armor.
Secrets.
Venus and DNK.
Think you need to back off from this one, boys. Another missed stun. Venus does not look comfortable on this Bard.
Oh no.
This isn't great, but he steals the dragon away. It's worked out. 𝗂𝗃's ram only hits Artifact. They're trying to get out of here. The magical journey was good, but can they keep running? DNK flashes. He's got his ult in a few seconds. 𝗂𝗃 very far forward, but GAM is not stopping. Of course they're not. They're going to keep going. Into the back line goes 𝗀𝗃. He's going for the cut down. There it is. Levi's been sliced in half. 𝗀𝗃 now running away. Celebrity, he's a little bit caught, but of course he's a slippery boy. In comes the bear. DNK, he sets up his team. He dies for it, but it's going to be 2 kills to Celebrity. Artifact is on the run, but 𝗚𝗺 hunts him down. Now Celebrity wants Slay, but it's a karma. He's fast. The Jace falls, and good God, we are having an absolute blast here. Oh boy.
We see the tendencies of the two teams in action. They are GAM overchasing into the jungle like the true solo queue team they are. Let's see how this all transpired. Venus hits a very, very good stun on 𝗂𝗃 here, so 𝗂𝗃 can't follow up. He actually gets the redirection, but can't really change that one, so only on Artifact. DNK somehow makes it out of here. 𝗂𝗃 misses a very important stun he had to hit. Now everyone is kind of overextended and they can't really fight around this terrain. You see 𝗚𝗺 and 𝗚𝗔𝗺 too far away from the other important members, and Celebrity able to free fire all the time, disengage 𝗚𝗺, so 𝗀𝗃 stays alive too. And this is just so awkward. Where do you go from here? Celebrity still free firing another 2 kills over to him, and 𝗚𝗺 gets caught in the end by a good flash Q.
I'm very happy as well. DNK 100% knew he was going to die there, but he didn't care. He knew he'd set his team up. That was super, super well done by Team Secret. That's the team fight coordination we know them for. GAM is raw mechanics, but we saw there they got out-thunk. GAM didn't screw up mechanically. They screwed up with the brain. And that's where Team Secret has to leverage their advantage.
And I have to correct myself. Of course, I called GAM's second dragon, but of course they actually lost the first dragon, as we also touched on cast. So now 2 dragons for Team Secret, and they clawed back the gold lead. They are in a very dominant position for the rest of the game. 1k gold lead and 2 dragons up. They could go for a dragon snowball. 𝗀𝗃 also now accelerated in the top lane, already sitting on the Trinity Force, and we saw the top lane trades be very much in his favor. So it's all set up for a split push victory for Team Secret. What can GAM come up with to stop this from happening?
I mean, 𝗂𝗃 will be able to slow it down for quite a long time. He's got a Sunfire cape. Yes, he doesn't win trades, but he can clear the waves for now. I don't think 𝗀𝗃's going to be mining too much from the tower unless they can force 𝗂𝗃 to leave the lane, because of course you leave Camille alone with a tower for any time at all, and that tower is going to be very mad at you. But here we go.
Oh.
DNK turns him gold. He gets knocked back, and the bear has had some dinner.
We see the pings from GAM in the top lane. They want to make a play on 𝗀𝗃𝗃. Yeah, still has ult available. 𝗀𝗃𝗃 disengaging very far back.
He just skedaddles.
Dangerous though. 𝗀𝗃𝗃 has ultimate. He has so much burst damage too. He can immune one effect. I think he can defend this turret here.
Yeah.
Makes the judgment to just back off.
Yeah, I think GAM has to back off. The wave is too far away. No one from Secret is coming to reinforce. They're going to trade towers, I think, and Team Secret gets mid tower and first tower. They win this trade hard.
And they get bot as well on top of that, with the celebrity pushing up. And they might even not trade top tower, with 𝗀𝗃𝗃 finally engaging under his turret, I guess. So he goes back to his turret and decides to just defend it. Big loss across the map for GAM, and suddenly it's a 3k gold deficit out of nowhere, while the kills are still 6-6.
This is very, very exciting, but we are starting to see the effects of Secret's map play. This is going to be a second Herald over to GAM. I don't know where the first one went, I'm going to be honest. I missed that. Maybe there was a turret Bard altered to stop the charge. I can't imagine it timed out. But regardless, that is going to be 2 Heralds over to GAM. Proud of you, Team Secret. Sometimes Team Secret overforces for Heralds. So glad to see not this time.
But yeah, one of the best things about Team Secret is how creative they are around Heralds. It's not like 𝗏𝗏 from last year, where 𝗏𝗏 was a very good Herald team. Everyone knew they would go with a 10-minute Herald swap and kind of fight for the Herald immediately. Everyone knew that, and still they were super successful in NA. Team Secret is a very Herald-focused team, but they also know how to play around Herald if the enemy team goes for Herald, as we saw with the bot lane trade. Now they will get another dragon moving up to Soul Point in 5 minutes. Getting very dangerous for GAM, especially with the poke comp into Mountain Soul.
Not quite as good as Ocean, of course, but those resistances are getting very, very real. And with a bear that will build full tank, he certainly will be the bear in the big blue house, defending his team. And so far, we might finally have someone on the Rift that's not just a koala bear. We might finally see ourselves black bear, maybe a grizzly bear. We'll find out. Have to raid him.
Yeah, I think he has his damage is not quite there to be a grizzly bear, but he can still be a brown bear, maybe a black bear.
Maybe he can be Brother Bear. Is the movie no one remembers. Oh, actually, I don't even know. But regardless, kids movie. As GAM slow it down for a moment. No objectives on the map. No priority for GAM. Where is the next point of contention?
They really need to get 𝗂𝗃𝗃 to level 13 before the next dragon fight arrives. They need to fight the next dragon, of course, for the soul. And they should be able to do so. So 𝗂𝗃𝗃 is going to be very, very tanky. Can GAM play around this very tanky front line? What just happened in bot lane?
𝗂𝗃𝗃 got solo killed. 𝗀𝗃𝗃𝗃, boys.
Thanks, observers.
Levi has to use his ult and his flash to get away. Team Secret, they are looking very, very good right now. 𝗂𝗃𝗃 and Levi under this tower. There's a volley bear on the way. 𝗂𝗃𝗃 does not redirect the ram. I'm spelling trouble. The tower's been turned off. 𝗂𝗃𝗃 takes a lot of damage. This is not the most coordinated dive I've ever seen.
Flash.
That was not the best. And they're running away. But teleport committed. Team Secret can just run away. 𝗂𝗃 arrives. Celebrity is so out of position. What were you here for, son? He's going to get away, though. But a flash.
Look at bot lane, though.
Oh boy, do look at that bot lane. Look at 𝗀𝗃𝗃.
And how did this happen? Did he just dive him? Oh, 𝗂𝗃 tried to fight Bruiser as basically an ADC. Not the greatest idea. That wasn't that exciting, sadly. But 𝗀𝗃𝗃 just showed him his place in this game. He can't cycle into 𝗀𝗃𝗃 anymore.
No.
He's 2 levels down. 𝗀𝗃𝗃 moving into a super strong position on one of the best split pushers in the game. And we've already seen how smart Team Secret plays around side lanes, as we can see.
𝗂𝗃 has been found. There's nothing to stun him yet, but there it is. He's used his immunity. Look at all of the damage. Even 𝗚𝗚 can't stand up, and 𝗀𝗃𝗃 goes up to 3-0.
And 𝗀𝗃𝗃 didn't have this ultimate available, so I didn't actually think this would be happening. I thought 𝗂𝗃 could maybe get away, but then his ult ticked over and he didn't even use it. So now still available for the next split push. 𝗂𝗃 fails to get to level 13. We are still 2 minutes away from the Mountain Soul spawning. It's getting more and more favorable for Team Secret. Looking at the items, there is quite a lot of damage now for GAM with the 2 items of a Levi, almost 2 items for DR1. 𝗬𝗏 is far behind though, and he really needs a second item to deal some damage in team fights.
Of course, as well, luckily for Dia, this is a Volibear jungle, which means his initial tank items are just health, not really negating that lethality yet. Celebrity.
I mean, now he has bought his first item.
Oh, yeah, he finished it right as I was making the point. Look at all of the ultimates being burned, and there's a big Bard ult, all gold, everything. They want DR1, but he immediately flashes. They're going to try and siege the tower. 𝗀𝗃𝗃 lurking in the river. Will he be the submerged predator? He's trying to come forward. Can he get those legs swinging? We'll find out. Celebrity gets chunked by the flame breath. I think everyone is going to back off.
Ball it off. Come on, you didn't have to fight.
They did. Oh, huge stun artifact. Jesus. Just flexing.
That was almost the game. We probably won't get a replay because no one died, but almost the game deciding play there. If Venus is a little bit better on the timing with the Q, he stuns 2 members immediately after his ult wears off, and those 2 members die instantly. So very close to deciding the game. I actually want to praise Venus. It's not quite run OP levels of Bard, but after initial blunders in the first team fight, he has been very, very good.
As flying forward, he wants to find Levi. Look at the burst damage. He was exhausted for half of that, and he takes the dragon down.
Are they turning to Baron? Are they? I think that you just reset for Mountain Soul. Maybe even don't skip the reset. It's 10 seconds, and Levi is dead for more than 10 seconds. Just burst the Mountain Soul, get that one, and that should be enough to give you the power to close the game. I think this should be it. They go for it. Hello?
No, they can't start it up. There's no jungler on GAM's side. They were just waiting for the rest of the team to reinforce, just in case. Find out.
There we go. Uncontested Mountain Soul. Perfect timing for a pick. Once again showing the deeper understanding, maybe, from Team Secret. So far in this game, GAM has been able to stand up in fights, but their map rotation and map reads haven't been on par, and we can finally see that in an almost 5k gold lead and the Mountain Soul to Team Secret. This should be pretty easy way, smooth sailing to victory in the first game for Secret.
Whoa, this is a very impressive performance by Team Secret. They made that early mistake, but they leveled the ship at that point. Now there is a Baron on the map. You know GAM's gonna force. There it is. The 𝗚𝗚 and the Dragon. They're all putting it into Artifact. He will go down, but that's so many resources. 𝗀𝗃𝗃 arrives. He can get into the fight. DNK is a big scary bear, but there's a lot of chakrams floating around. 𝗬𝗏. Can they get this first kill onto 𝗂𝗃? They're hitting 𝗀𝗃𝗃 very, very hard. This could be the turn. I don't think you want to fight here, Secret. Just cut your losses.
And once again, Artifact the one to be engaged on, because his flash was blown in the last fight. So good judgment from GAM to just immediately turn on the mid laner again. Team Secret almost overextending and giving GAM another chance to get back into the game in the end. They do what you want them to do. They cut their losses and accept the fact that that is a lost fight. It doesn't really cost them too much. There's no Baron for the enemy team. So basically just wait for 𝗬𝗏 to use all his ammo on the OP gun. And then you can try again. Baron is on the cards. Baron is really the next objective Team Secret is looking for. With the Baron, they should be able to accelerate the game to a point where the enemy team can't even contest the Elder Dragon, and then that game is just over. So let's see how they approach Baron vision, how they try to force GAM into a lose-lose situation. The most important things about Baron.
And this is one of the only teams in the VCS that would just cut their losses. A lot of our other teams would have kept fighting there. Probably 4 of them die and GAM gets Baron. And then we are back at even pegging. Good on your Team Secret. They know when to just give it up.
But also a little bit of a bad trend for Team Secret, or a little bit of the weakness we see a few times. They tend to get caught here and there, and this happens especially from ahead. But it's only one kill, so in the grand scheme of things, not much happened. And can they give 𝗀𝗃 all the time he needs to pierce through that turret in the bot lane?
Find out for sure. Let's look at the damage 𝗀𝗃's doing. He rips them up. They can't stop him in this lane. And goddamn, I have a pair of Nostradamuses here with me on my production team, as you've predicted so many things, and now Vinnie has predicted the well-executed split push. I'm so happy to see it. Baron is going down very, very quickly, and GAM, they've got strong noses, but they could not sniff this one out. The freest Baron in existence, 𝗀𝗃, rolls away from 𝗂𝗃 and says, "G'day, mate. I just got this nice velvet jacket from my team across the map. And oh boy, is Team Secret looking clean."
It's more than Team Secret actually hoped for. What Team Secret wanted to do here is run at Baron, see how much damage you do, and force the TP for 𝗂𝗃 so you can disengage Baron and 𝗀𝗃 gets the bot lane inhibitor. Instead, 𝗀𝗃 was so close to 𝗂𝗃 that 𝗂𝗃 never found the time to teleport, and GAM didn't even get close to Baron because of all the very well set up vision for Team Secret. So it's just a free Baron, more gold for Team Secret, going up to a 6k gold lead now, and can they finally break some turrets?
And
this is
an exposition of the problem with GAM this split. When they can't outmuscle their opponent, when they can't just lift more weight than the opponent, they get lost. They don't know what to do. They're trying to force these fights, and Team Secret's just saying, okay, we don't want to fight you. We're not going to fight you until it suits us. As, oh, look at all the damage being dealt, and 𝗎𝗍𝗺 gets detonated! The turret goes down. Artifact on this Syndra. He may not have all the kills, but he's got all the stuns.
How are we supposed to decide on an MVP in this game? Everyone is playing out of their minds for Team Secret. Their team coordination looking crisp, looking clean, and they're just pushing in for the first inhibitor. 𝗀𝗃 is already preparing the second wave in top lane, so it's very easy to just turn over there, textbook style, get 2 inhibitors, and prepare the third one around Elder Dragon, so you can just use that one. Oh, interestingly enough, they turn to bot lane instead.
I mean, they may as well, right? 𝗀𝗃's pushing in the top lane. He doesn't really need help. You may as well have 2 points of pressure rather than 1.
I kind of disagree with this one. That was a very easy top lane inhibitor. I feel like this one, they want a little bit more than they should be going for. Top lane inhibitor is enough to force the Elder Dragon. You don't need all 3. But maybe they can still get all the inhibitors. It gives GAM a chance to re-engage and fight. Let's see if 𝗂𝗃 finds the ultimate once it's back up.
Very possible. It has about a quarter of its cooldown left. The tower has already fallen, though. The inhibs are under siege. The top lane falls. 𝗀𝗃 goes forward. He is absolutely ridiculous on the damage. Look at this. He's 1v3 and he's winning. DNK and the rest of the team have now joined. Celebrity hops over. He's getting the fires going. He's got the bomb. He's got the first reset. He's got another one. They're charging forward. 𝗎𝗍𝗺 tries to throw out the 200 years, but it's looking like 3 years as they're going to go on to the Nexus, and Team Secret makes a statement. They say, GAM, you may have been the old kings of Vietnam, but the new guard has arrived.
What an insane finish. I have to apologize to Team Secret. Great call. 𝗀𝗃 absolutely able to stand for his own in the top lane. 4 members push in the bot lane. The cooldown for 𝗂𝗃 did not work in GAM's favor, and Team Secret wiped the floor in the second half of this game with GAM. Just need to improve the very first fight, but other than that, almost a perfect execution on this one. 27-minute victory after an early deficit against GAM.
And 𝗀𝗃, I just want to refer to the top lane because it was the most hype matchup. A little bit unfortunate 𝗂𝗃 was on 𝗚𝗔𝗠. It's not like a super hype champion, but 𝗀𝗃 looked crisp. He was always in the right place at the right time. All of Team Secret looked super coordinated, aside from moments of brain fade. But overall, a fantastic performance. Tricky to pick an MVP here.
Yeah. And I just want to point out, picking on against 𝗀𝗃 on red side might just be a reportable offense. He has now shown Kayle and the Camille. So maybe you should just stop picking on into one of the best counter pick players in the league. but also great execution. He backed off when he needed to. I feel like, I'm not sure. I'm a top laner, so I kind of lean towards 𝗀𝗃𝗃.
I mean, he was definitely
He
always
played
in the right
almost
place.
a perfect game.
It's one of those things
So
where
much.
do we give him credit for being in the right place? Because it's the shot caller told him to be there, but does he get the credit? I think 𝗀𝗃𝗃 for MVP. I'm super hype on this guy. Overall, you could give it to almost any member of Team Secret. That was such a good performance. All of them. DNK showed us why we pick 𝗁𝗺𝗺, turning towers off, assisting the dive. Celebrity wasn't a super heavy carry, but he was the secondary threat that they needed, and 𝗏𝗏𝗏 was hitting.
Celebrity played an insanely well.
Exactly.
Played insanely well on the Tristana.
Yeah, he did.
So aggressive.
Exactly. Venus was hitting the Bard ults, Ron OP flashbacks for sure. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 with the long range stuns. But I do think we'll give MVP to 𝗀𝗃𝗃. But it's very tricky.
Let's do that.
For sure. We'll have to come back and see, will GAM be able to fight back with the red side counter pick? We do think that's going to be super important for this series. They'll have it next game. Or will Team Secret stamp their mark as a very, very powerful team here in Vietnam? We'll find out in about 6 minutes, guys. Don't go anywhere. We hope you are enjoying the show here on VCS English.
The era of metal has begun, and metal shall prevail. For we know what they have done. 5 legends of our realm who sought to follow the path of their dark musings. But they did not know what they had summoned. Pentakill. To these creatures, there is but one thing left to do. Heavy metal.
Don't you think the realm's been purified? Creatures of darkness are still longing for your foe. Keep them in thrall, it's time to smite and ignite. This harness will guide us through dangerous night. It humbles the foe with its grace. The thorn mail will help us prevail and survive. Our deadliest fate we embrace. My king, how was I supposed to know? Everyone will falter when you die. This harness will guide us through dangerous night. It humbles the foe with its grace. The thorn mail will help us prevail and survive. Our deadliest fate we embrace. Yeah, my son, fight them all.
Welcome back, everybody. And Team Secret has proven that using your brain is better than using your brawn. GAM came at them like a wave crashing upon the shore, but truly the wall of Team Secret held strong and pushed in cleanly and perfectly to the Game 1 victory. Now moving on to Game 2. GAM has gained a great asset of the red side. We have the top lane counter pick. 𝗀𝗫𝗺 has to be worried about that one. And Yulwei, how do you think that changes the dynamic?
It changes so much. Top lane counter pick is so important. We saw it excel for Team Secret. I don't think GAM is quite as good at playing around top lane counter pick, though 𝗀𝗺 definitely has the potential to also stomp 𝗀𝗫𝗺 with the counter pick. I want to see the GAM actually try that, because I'm a little bit worried they're just going to pick early for 𝗀𝗺. I hope they actually give him last pick, so we get our matchup this time on the other side and see if 𝗀𝗺 can carry.
It's
Overall,
I don't want the
just go
Ornn
ahead.
picks. I just don't. I understand. Like, yes, you're on blue side. You're very scared of 𝗀𝗫𝗺 counter picks, but you picked Ornn. He's a super counterable champion. There are better champions to give 𝗀𝗺 if you're worried about the matchup. The Ornn didn't do much. I'm going to steal your point that we talked about in the break. VCS games end too early for Ornn to be good. The games are decided before he gets his items. Pick Maokai. He's a better early game tank. I stole your point.
I agree so much. Yeah, I mean, I really don't like to see Ornn here in this league, because no team really knows how to play around the scaling and the power spikes of Ornn items. Ornn becomes, when Ornn hits level 13, he goes from 2 items to 3 items, even more than that. His combined value between the first 2 core items is more than 3,000 gold. So that power spike is one of the biggest in the whole game. But once you hit level 13, in most of the game is over, as we just talked about. And especially if you go in against something like Camille, even if you get all the HP, you can't sideline against her anymore. So you need to force team fights, and you need to get to that stage on an even footing, which no VCS team is able to do. So just drop the on. Unless your Pun is allowed to play it.
He did have a monstrous all-in performance, but he's not here today. We'll have to talk about him another time as we are rocking it into Game 2's Champ Select. Artifact will not get the run back on the Syndra. She somehow got to the second phase. No, she dodged first pick. She was picked up with the first rotation. I'm sorry. I was thinking of last series. She will not be picked this time. Varus, Pantheon removed. Volibear as well. This is a fully reactive set of bans by GAM.
Sets up the Grace first pick for Secret. Will we see that locked in for DNK? He has been our most successful Grace player. Likes to go Ignite or Flash. Both are options. Let's see if they ban away the Grace. It should be a very obvious ban.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah, there we go. So Aphelios now comes to mind. They played against Aphelios. They were fine with playing against Aphelios. It seems like they still value him highly, so now he's picked up. On the blue side, you basically always go for power picks, and Aphelios still is one of those. So give Celebrity his hyper carry in the late game. I don't disagree with that.
Game 1, Ashe was actually banned in the first rotation by GAM, which is very strange. He's not normally one of the ADCs that gets removed. He's picked fairly often, but I wouldn't be surprised if she's been banned more than once or twice.
What a surprise.
But they go Ashe, Jace. Well, the Jace I think we could have seen coming, but the Ashe early is a little bit strange. Kind of makes sense because Easy Love, I assume Easy Love is still in. I see a sub. It's a bit of an easier one. It's a bit safer. Gonna go to the Gragas? DNK? He's got a mean Gragas. DNK's been a historically very good Gragas.
Yeah.
So they go back to the Bard though. Very strong.
Also really like more Ute.
I love some Ute. How will they round out their first round of picks? Will they go for a support to get a priority one? I'd love to see a Thresh pick. Thresh is open.
Already.
Thresh, Felios. Oh, what am I talking about? They have a Bard.
They just picked
yeah,
Bard.
I'm you know what?
I'll take it for you.
Yeah,
I think.
You go.
Okay, never mind. So Wukong is going. That's very bold. We have seen the Jax pick for 𝗂𝗃. Will they lock in the Jax here or risk it being banned in the next phase? You have to decide between Thresh and Wukong here. Not Wukong, Jax, of course. There are some other counters, but Jax has been the most effective on VCS stage at least. So I kind of want to see the Jax here. Forces you into AP jungle though, so
which is fine for GAM. Let's be real. It's Levi.
Okay.
He only plays AP junglers. He gets his Nidalee. That is a farming AP jungle. That's a good set of adjectives for a Levi pick. There's a big brain possibility here. Let 𝗂𝗃 counterpick the Wukong and flex it jungle. And then counterpick whatever 𝗂𝗃 picks. That's a big brain
Wukong against Nidalee jungle. That sounds brutal. That is so hard to play.
I think
Wukong is so much slower than Nidalee.
The Jax. They banned the Mordekaiser. That's a Wukong counter. It's Wukong.
I don't agree with the Mordekaiser ban. I think you ban Jax and Hecarim because Mordekaiser. If GAM picks Mordekaiser, first of all, Mordekaiser is the softest of the three in terms of countering Wukong, in my opinion. And you also force double AP topside, so you could actually look for a skirmishing topside comp and force the advantage in terms of damage profile. I really don't agree with the Mordekaiser. Also would give 𝗂𝗃 less agency than something like the Hecarim or Jax, of course.
He hasn't shown the Hecarim, to be fair. They banned the Jax because that's been shown. That he had is it only Zeros that has shown the Hecarim? It's a known counter. You have to think 𝗂𝗃 has it in his back pocket. Such an obvious Wukong counter. But we don't know.
It might also just be Jace top lane, honestly. You could opt to flex that to 𝗂𝗃. They have been quite unsuccessful with 𝗂𝗃 on the Jace, of course. So it's more likely to be DR1's champion. But they could still flex that up there too.
Very true. Of course, with the Pantheon ban, DR1's champion pool is getting already threatened if he doesn't get the Jace. At least from what he's shown this split. Of course, last split he had a much deeper pool. So far it's been a bit
of actually really like illusion here for DR1.
Whoa. Okay. The Akali hover had me a bit confused. But there's the lock-in of the Gragas. Do we get it? Is it Gragawo? With a Wukong? With a Wukong?
So much AD
Artifact?
damage.
Are you gonna bring it out?
I don't actually like it too much.
I don't
have to
either,
say.
but I would have been hyped. It looks like they're gonna go for an 𝗂𝗃. Aggression here.
Giving up a lot of prio in mid lane. Interesting. Do they want to fancy a swap between Wukong and 𝗂𝗃? Maybe both. I mean, 𝗂𝗃 can play mid and top lane. Can Wukong play mid lane?
Against
Into Jace? He might be able
That's
to.
a top lane matchup, essentially.
Oh, I actually think this is super dangerous.
Okay, they go the Malphite.
Okay.
𝗬𝗃 playing 2 tank games. That's risky. What do you think of this GAM comp, Yulwei? It's a bit of a weird one.
It for sure is weird. We have 2 heavy engagers and then 2 poke champions, so not a whole lot of synergy, typical GAM style. They, of course, if they get 1 kill or a good poke from DR1, they have so much follow-up, so they can really force the fight and bring the fight to Team Secret, even from relatively far away. I would really like to see the swap for Artifact and Coated, though. This would be such a big brain move to move Coated into the mid lane and Artifact top lane, and you have 2 very good matchups. I mean, the mid lane against Jace is probably not great for Wukong, but he has a lot of armor, so he should be fine there. Come on, you can do it. That would be such a big brain move. I would love to see that.
I would love to see the switch here. I think it's much better. Malphite is a Wukong counter that we've seen. It's kind of weird because it's almost the Wukong counter for when there's player diff, right? If you know that the Wukong player is actually better than your top laner, you can pick him Malphite and he probably never dies. But that's not the case here. 𝗬𝗃 and Coated should be taking it to each other. 𝗬𝗃's been backing off a little bit.
Absolutely, yes. Maybe it's a team call because they always insist on double poke setup for jungle and mid lane. And they need some more frontline, maybe. I don't actually agree with that concept. I really don't feel there's a tank here in that team composition. You don't really want to 5v5 team fight. You want to poke them down, then it doesn't really matter what top lane you go for. The matchup we've seen sometimes now, some have been going very well for the Malphite. We have actually seen Wukong solo kill the Malphite from time to time. So it's definitely not a hard counter in lane. It's going to counter him later on, and it's a little bit better when it comes to teamfight setup. It's easier for him to get in. But I don't feel like this was the answer they were looking for game 1.
I kind of think the logic, and again, I'm not going to say whether or not it's good logic, but it's what I would be thinking is you poke them down with Nidalee and Jace, then you throw an arrow and a Malphite ult at them. Because Jace and Nidalee, they are poke champions, but they're not Ezreal. They actually do go in off their poke, right? That is a pretty scary all-in death ball. I won't call it a wombo combo because it's not. It's just a death ball where they'll just go, all 5 of us, we poked you down, we got you to half health, here we go. But you could have picked AP Shyvana in that. That was more poke.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I can see everyone exploding on Team Secret's side if you hit some good spears, some good shock blasts. But it's also very risky. If you don't get the poke in, Nidalee and Jace are not as strong as some other champs in that position. They are not the strongest DPS, the strongest backline champions. So if you ever have to fight front to back against Team Secret, so many sitting ducks there against Wukong and Gragas as well. So it's such a risky draft. It's very GAM-esque. It's super, super risky. It can work. And if it works, it probably looks like the best draft of all time, right? They probably just wipe the floor with everyone in every single team fight and everyone explodes over and over again. But if it doesn't work, it's going to fall flat on its nose very quickly.
And the other problem with it as well is it involves walking into an Aphelios. You don't want to do that. And a Bard as well. Like, you could see the super reactive Bard ults to dodge, the big Malphite ults and stuff. That's really hard to do, but still very doable. Dodging some poke follow-up, that kind of thing. What do you think of this 𝗂𝗃 pick? I think it's very strange for Artifact.
Yeah, I haven't really wrapped my head around this 𝗂𝗃. So it offers a lot of side lane pressure, and no one really can side lane late game against 𝗂𝗃. Both solo laners for GAM are very bad against an assassin in the side lane. She also offers a lot of backline access, and they don't really have the greatest CC. It's kind of weird to say that against Malphite and Thresh on the other side. But other than that, they want to use their tools to engage, not really to peel, right? So 𝗂𝗃 just wants to wait on the sideline and then jump on top of DR1, on top of Levi. Everyone is squishy on the other side. Actually makes a lot of sense. I would have preferred more...
You can't Malphite ult the 𝗂𝗃. She drops the smoke. And yeah, you hit her pretty hard, but who cares? Is a bit of an early gank here. 𝗂𝗃, it's up against the Comet Malphite, so he's taken a lot of damage. He flashes away. DNK has now arrived, as has the teleport. They want to punish early. The flash belly bop. There's a teleport to answer it, but it's too late. In they go. Wukong gets one. It's answered back. They're very, very low. This is a bit of a trouble here as 𝗂𝗃 has gone down. And dear God, it's a massacre in the top lane.
It's a 2-for-2 trade, but does this really favor GAM? They react a little bit later and had the HP advantage. It's 2 kills over to Jace, and both of the solo laners get kills on Team Secret side. So I actually would say Team Secret gets out on top here.
It's tricky because
it's a close call. It's a close call for sure.
I think I lean the other way because I don't feel like the slight gold lead for Wukong matters against Malphite. It's still Malphite. While Jace against 𝗂𝗃, Jace got 2 kills. That's a lot. And we have a fight in the bot lane. There is a hook landing, but the numbers are there for Secret.
And 𝗧𝗏 forced to flash away. This hampers their ability to play aggressive down in the bot lane. But let's look at the top lane fight. 𝗂𝗃 is very low. He used his W somewhere. Maybe even he didn't even skill his W yet. Possible. Level 3.
Help push the wave. But there's the belly bomb.
Very good re-engage. Also perfectly timed with the TP arriving for Artifact, so they get Levi low very quickly. But DR1 also arrives in time to get the double kill on 𝗂𝗃 and, of course, on the jungler as well. So in the end, both teams react well. We can't really fault either team. I think 𝗂𝗃 could have played the start of the fight a little bit better, flash a little bit earlier maybe, try to get away into a safer position to not lose as much HP. But in the end, he gets a kill. And everything is back to even. GAM with a slight gold lead, though.
Sure. This is very interesting to look at. I still think it's dangerous to give DR1 this lead. And look, is this a permanent lane swap? The Malphite's in mid. Was this just temporary on a reset? I'm not 100% sure. I didn't catch the movements. Find out.
Team Secret wants to force this swap, which makes a lot of sense. We talked about this in the Champ Select. It's a way better position for Wukong to be in, especially if they both go to top lane. Top lane would be the dream scenario. Wukong against Jace is the perfectly fine matchup for Wukong. Of course, Jace pushes on the wave, he's arranged, blah, blah, blah. But in the end, Wukong can actually threaten kills on him. It's quite hard for Jace to get away.
Lots of damage
so
on
a little bit of a trade.
Gravitum, right? Get a guaranteed route and then meep slap.
Yeah, no flash for 𝗧𝗏.
Oh God, they're going in. That's a flash forward. 𝗚𝗚love goes down. 𝗚𝗃's in the chat as Bard picks up a kill. Here we go.
That was so disrespectful for 𝗚𝗚love. He just stepped up to the Gravitum.
Yep.
Like, hello? You know what this spell does. You just played the champion. Please don't disrespect this spell anymore. And that's a very easy kill. Sadly, Venus, of course, secured the kill, so not the perfect positioning. For Team Secret, they wanted this kill on Celebrity, but it's better than nothing. And gets them back into the gold lead.
Such a misplay by 𝗚𝗚love. That was unreal. You have to know how that goes. That's really
dangerous
bad.
Push.
Yeah, they'll back off in plenty of time. If I can't get it.
But this gives priority now around Dragon for GAM. They will probably decide to give up the Dragon here. They want the reset really badly. There are no items on the bot lane, so the kill and the push actually cost them the Dragon, which is a little bit unfortunate timing. Maybe you should have gone immediately for recall, regardless of lane state, after the kill to get there in time for the Dragon contest. Instead, now given up, and GAM secure the first Dragon of the series.
Yeah, that's a bit of a weird one to say. They perhaps should have got one last game, but no, it was 4 straight for Team Secret. They do get on the board. Levi seems very scared to take. He was scared as he finally takes it, and we'll move to his blue buff. We have calmed down a little bit. It's a very even game. 200 gold in it. Hex Drinker completed for DR1. versus the Cutlass of Artifact. Funnily enough, it's funny, at the moment, that Hex Drink is actually not very good because he does quite a bit of AD damage. Got a Cutlass. Auto attacks hurt.
Well,
But it's worth it.
even with
It's
the Cutlass.
It's good. It's just kind of funny.
Yeah, of course. In terms of itemization, it looks a little bit weird, but even with the Cutlass, there's a lot of AP damage, even though it scales on AD still on Akali, so definitely still a good choice. Could actually... Oh, no.
Qiaya's in trouble.
Here.
A journey's been used, but the unstoppable force is good. Can they find him? Oh, the barrel goes
Oh
wide.
my God.
D&K is just wetting the floor and wetting the bed with that one.
That was horrible. Wow, the first really big mistake mechanically we see from a secret player in game 2.
Ugh.
Very bad cask. You need to hit that one. They invested so much time and resources to get there. And now can Levi look for a counter jungle opportunity? They are pinging the Herald, which might be a little bit too risky right now with full control for Wukong. So, yeah, probably not going to happen soon. Team Secret not making any moves to contest Herald either, so that objective is going to stay alive for a while.
Interesting. Team Secret almost looks like they've been practicing a very different style for this one, because their play around the 8-minute Rift Herald was almost like Clutch Gaming over in NA. 8 minutes, it's Tanner time. We go straight to Herald and fight. They were doing that. Not this series. They've said maybe GAM reads that, and they like to fight us at that time, so we won't do it.
Yeah, we talked about this last game a little bit. I think Team Secret was a step ahead of the Tanner time from last year, where they actually adapted their play according to situation and changed their decision making from a set play to actually what makes sense in game. We're just going to ignore that. That was interesting, but.
An uncontested
What can they do? Is it uncontested? Do they not invest anything to stop this?
No, they get nothing.
Qiaya is on a ward.
This is 100% for GAM. Look, there's no chance they can't walk up the river.
Yeah.
And Aphelios isn't hitting the tower. This is free.
Yeah, using great wave priority in mid and top lane to have so much control over the river to just secure this one. Levi, of course, also very quick on the take. So now GAM can really accelerate this game. They are still slightly behind in gold, but this Herald, with a good play, could lead to a massive gold lead somewhere on the map. Not a single plate has fallen on either side. So this Herald is very unlikely to break a first turret. But 2 plates are still nice, especially if you use it in mid lane to soften the turret for the second Herald to take the turret later on in the game and open up the map.
Ooh, bot lane, this is a bit scary here. There's Gravitum Moonlight Vigil available, but they don't go for the dive. Good call with
plating. There we go.
Finally.
Top lane, one fell on top lane too. So Qiaya making work of his counter pick. It's definitely looking like he knows this matchup in and out, not falling for any weird Wukong all-ins where we have seen some Malphites die to the Wukong. Instead, he's actually controlling the wave. He's pushing in all the time, providing his jungler with all the priority he needs, and even got a plating for himself. So good play from Qiaya. Still disappointed to see him on a tank, but if he can make it work and make it to game 3, all power to him.
Yeah, we'll find out for sure. It is, it's a counter, but it's not the kind of counter we thought Qiaya would bring out. We'll have to see if he can make it work. Evidently, they're wanting him on the tanks. Oh, Unstoppable Force is used to dodge the Tempered Fate. That Malphite ult has only been going one direction.
Yeah, I mean, he really doesn't need it for the lane, right? So this gives him a lot of safety. Actually, a champ I would recommend for everyone to pick up for his top lane pool, because Malphite offers so much, can actually win lanes, and is so safe in lane.
They want round 2 that's been used. They can't let Coded tank, and they don't. This time, everything hits. Qiaya goes down. A teleport's arriving. It's DL1. He gets Coded low. He gets Coded down. He gets the instant double kill. The tower helping out down in the bot side as well. It's all gone wrong here. Easy Love will pay for celebrity. No, he flashes the Akali ult. Oh, he dies regardless, but well reacted. And now Artifact in so much trouble. He clears the minions, but Levi finds him. Can he get back in? He's got the E tag, but he won't go for it. But look, it's round 2. Look at the magical journey. It's here. The stun lands. This is the never-ending fight. As they're chasing forward, can they find this Thresh? 𝗀𝗃 arrives, but he's over the other side of the wall. Levi can't get out, and the lantern is not fast enough. Woo!
What is going on? It's pure chaos. And Team Secret indulging in the GAM style and getting a little bit too deep on the top lane dive. Great teleport once again for 𝗬𝗏, who is now 4-0 from 2 great teleports. He is the strongest point on the map for GAM and will secure another 2 platings, maybe even the first turret, in trade for the dragon. Overdive on the other side as well for GAM, of course. They shouldn't have done that either. So in the end, it's a, I think, 3-for-3 trade.
Well, there's about to be another one as 𝗎𝗍𝗏. More like 𝗎𝗍𝗺, as Team Secret has been having him for breakfast, lunch, and tea. He's 0-3. And we'll trade the tower. Of course, it's still positive for 𝗬𝗍𝗺.
That is such a bad mistake for 𝗎𝗍𝗺. You know all your resources are on top lane right now. There's no one to protect you. You know the enemy team just took dragon, so it's quite likely. But let's look at the replay first. DNK this time hits all the spells.
This is the
they take too long though. Yeah, so much damage from 𝗬𝗏. A good flash for Celebrity, but it's still Slay, of course, is able to lock him down. Very good grab as well. If he dodged the grab, that would have actually been dicey. It would have been a double kill for the artifact, most likely. He comes in for the rescue, gets 1 kill back, and will, of course, try to get more. This, I mean, GAM, you have no business rediving this. You have no way. Please don't do that again.
I think they thought the Bard would take a lot longer to get there. That was a long magical journey from Venus.
But even just in the 2v1, that is so risky. If you misplay that, that's a double kill and a triple kill for artifact.
He just didn't angle the cone right. He could have gone into Tribush and he probably gets out.
Yeah, that's true. Another kill over to 𝗀𝗃.
That's a bad mistake out of Levi.
This game has been a little bit messier than the last one. And we have some big advantages for solo laners on both sides, actually. While the ADCs have been suffering on both sides, too. So we are back in 2018. And yeah, down in the bot lane, Baolan and JackieLove are struggling.
Oh, boy. As bot lane tower does break, 𝗬𝗏 is a terrifying Jace at the moment. Has that more of Malmortius and the Ghost Blade built up. No one can quite stand up to him at the moment. Secret, of course, every time GAM exposes a weakness, they're going to be there to press their fingers in. They take top tower.
So to trade once again, 𝗬𝗍𝗺 looking for the flank and Celebrity can't get close to this one. So finally a positive objective trade for GAM on the map for the first time, maybe, in the 2 series. And they get off to a great lead, a little bit more than 1k gold. So it's not enough to secure anything. And most of your gold is on Jace, so you want to now accelerate the game and play around the mid-game power spike your Jace is at right now.
For sure. Now, of course, Team Secret have kept themselves within touching distance. The big lead really is just 𝗬𝗏. If they can catch him out, the rest of the fights should go well. Even if they trade 1-for-1, they've got a very strong ADC. 𝗚𝗏 is not quite the same as i.e. Aphelios, as they're going to have another go at 𝗬𝗍𝗺, but there's a Levi here as well. Artifact wants him, he hits him with the E, this is going to be a lot of damage. The stun from Venus stops the mouthbite ult until it's too late, and now Artifact's got to run. The rest of the team is here. Venus will be the sacrificial lamb, but will Artifact go down as well? The arrow's coming in, it nearly hits. He presses E, but I don't think he can possibly get away, and Artifact goes down.
So insanely well played for Artifact. It's so sad to see him fall for that. He hit every single spell when he killed Levi. The assassination from start to finish, flawless execution there. But in the end, they fall. He goes away from the bar tunnel. I think he could have maybe made it out of there. But instead, now look at what Team Secret accomplished on the other side of the map. They gave up kills, but 2 turrets. And can they get another kill on Slay?
No, the heal will be enough. He's tanky with that Aftershock. 𝗬𝗏 gets the top lane inner. Venus, be very careful. You do not have backup yet. The teleport's now been called. Does he have the Tempered Fate? He needs to drop it on himself. And he flashes the wall instead. 𝗬𝗏 might follow. But there it is, the magical journey. There's the Tempered Fate. But it's too late. This is dangerous now. 𝗬𝗏 gets it. DNK's arrived on this Gragas. But there's so much damage. You need to be careful. Artifact, get the kill. God damn it. And now Levi arrives. And the minions might finish DNK. But no. No, it did. He goes down. 𝗬𝗏 has just come out so far ahead.
But he gives up a 1,000 gold shutter or 950 gold shutter. And so in the end, the kill trade is still kind of even though it's a 1-for-2 trade. And that's weird to say. But he gives a big shutdown and another kill over to Artifact. They engaged on him with only AP damage when he's first item more of Mortis. So probably not the greatest damage profile to attack him.
Venus was also so late on the Bardol. There's like 3 opportunities to save yourself here. Ult now. Ult now. Ult R.
I really like this move though. Yeah, running him around the map. So now 𝗬𝗏 doesn't have the flash anymore to get away. This is a confirmed kill. They just have to be careful to not give up another one, and they do. Yeah. DNK. I guess he didn't want to go over.
Shock blast. That's what he could have done. He had to flash the shock blast.
Yeah, it's quite weird that he didn't try to escape to the top side because they had no vision on Levi. So maybe spider senses, but instead it's another one.
Ocean Drake is on 2,500 health. It resets. DNK in the pit, actually tanking the dragons. He body slams back over. The first Bard stun misses. There is the Malphite ult. They're trading it with the Cyclone. He gets a lot of knockouts, but doesn't get the kill. 𝗏𝗏 has got one. They're trying to chase on the side, and it's all going Team Secret's way. Celebrity has the chakrams ready. 𝗂𝗃 desperately tries to get him, and he'll get one back at least, but it's not worth it.
What happened to Celebrity in the last season? I have no idea. He would have never gone for that play. Such an insane 𝗏𝗏's play. He flashed into 3 people knowing well that all the chakrams would give him enough damage to kill everyone there. I need to dissect this fight in the replay, but first look at what gets taken from Secret. They only get 1 dragon, but they get back into the gold lead 2, or close to the gold lead, and are in a much more comfortable position than before. A lot of items finished for Celebrity. He, of course, misses both of his summoner spells now, so it's quite easy for 𝗂𝗃 to engage on him. But keep your eyes on Celebrity and his insane flashback into the fight. Uses the onslaught, of course, to stack a lot of chakrams. So here he goes. Here he goes into 3 members.
He's just a melee ranger, 𝗏𝗏, and that's where 𝗏𝗏 is most comfortable, as he did a disgusting amount of damage. Oh my.
So the damage split was actually very ineffective if you look at the items. All the AP damage threats went to kill 𝗂𝗃, who is stacked on MR, and the AD damage, Celebrity, went to kill 𝗂𝗃, who is stacked on armor. So actually, in terms of efficiency, when it comes to your damage profile, was a very bad fight for Team Secret, and they still won. So if they actually allocate the damage sources better, this could be an even worse fight for GAM. So let's see.
And I mean,
if they can do that in the next fight.
On the other side of the coin, that Malphite ult only hits the Wukong. It's not what you want to use the Unstoppable Force for. So both teams kind of having to play a very far from ideal fight. But Team Secret, of course, that come out on top. This game is so close.
Secret now with a dragon advantage and Akali is slowly approaching the point where no one can split push against her anymore. So it is definitely looking better for Secret. They need to wait out the time now for Celebrity to get his flashback, because that is super dangerous with 𝗂𝗃 having his ult always ready for the fights. It's very easy to lock down Celebrity. So I think Team Secret is going to chill for the next minute, or for the next 2-3 minutes, and then wait for the next dragon to spawn to really open up the game for them to take the 2-0. It's a much closer one, and GAM still has very good chances in this game to come back and utilize their super strong mid-jungle core.
Yeah, and GAM needs to make something happen. As the game goes on, this Jace gets sort of less and less relevant as armor is beginning to be built up. Death Stance on Wukong, Sonya's on Gragas. Even just those small amounts of armor does make that lethality considerably less effective. Especially as there's no Black Cleaver user on his team. He has to build it.
And I want to point out for the next fight, we have a very, very important small item build by Celebrity. He's going for the stopwatch now.
Yep.
Stopwatch can, of course, delay the engage from 𝗂𝗃, and even if you can't flash away, just stopwatch and then try to reposition using maybe a bar tunnel, maybe a bar ultimate as well to protect you. So that is going to be a crucial item we see if Secret and Celebrity can execute that one correctly.
Yeah, GAM has to play around that one, and Secret, for now, has to be very careful. Do not stick your nose ahead of your battle lines, because GAM is going to be desperately looking for any mistake to capitalize on.
𝗀𝗃 is also... Yeah, same here. So 𝗀𝗃 is actually now in a position where he might be able to win side lane against 𝗂𝗃 too, because he has a lot of sustain and 𝗂𝗃 doesn't. 𝗂𝗃 also not with the tank mastery, so no grasp for extra sustain. He went for the stronger laning choice, which definitely paid off, as we saw on the first gank already. But now it might cost him a little bit, as 𝗀𝗃 is moving more and more into the side lane. Squishy, but very strong Wukong.
Yeah, I mean, he's not that squishy. He has a death dance, right? Like,
low HP, let's say. Low HP total.
But combined with the Wukong health regen, yeah, he doesn't really benefit from the armor side of his passive in that matchup, but the health regens. So, I definitely agree. I think he can side lane up against the big rock. Have to see if
this
𝗂𝗃
itemization choice now for 𝗂𝗃. He went for the counter item now to prevent that from happening. Bramblevest will cut this healing in half, so 𝗀𝗃 I don't think can do anything to 𝗂𝗃 in the side lane. His big trouble is still the 𝗂𝗃, and especially if 𝗂𝗃 will now build the Void stuff, which I think she should definitely prioritize here over something like Rabadon's. So much MR on the enemy team, and you already have a lot of damage, so piercing through the MR should be more valuable for Artifact. I hope he's going that route next.
You would hope so, but he's also going to be very safe in these fights. There is so much time buying ability for Team Secret. Stopwatch on Celebrity, Zhonya's on Artifact, the Bard ult's existence. Hook lands, Slay goes forward, takes a lot of damage and has to flash. Was it worth it? I don't think so. Blast Cone popped by Venus. The dragon is engaged. They are going in on 𝗀𝗃. He sends out the decoy. There is a very good Cyclone using both sides of it. And oh no, look at the Bard ult. But there's the big re-engage. Celebrity got hit. He has to flash, but he goes down. This is a disaster for Team Secret. They are losing this fight. Artifact gets nothing done. Venus is on the run. Oh no, the Blast Cone didn't even work. I'm not sure what happened, but it's 3 kills for GAM and the Ocean Drake. And I think Baron.
They marched right at Baron after this fight. Big blunders from multiple Team Secret players, and Team GAM back in a dominant position in this game. They will take the Baron very easily. I mean, maybe DNK has something to say about that, but he should be zoned away by DR1, who's just guarding the entrance, as you can see.
There should be no chance for this. 𝗂𝗃 lands... No, he's way too far away. Artifact, what are you doing? They're calling a TP. This is not going to work, guys. What? What's going on? DNK's going to go down. He body slams over the wall, but he's got nowhere to go. Team Secret, what on earth are you thinking? Levi and 𝗎𝗎𝗆 will get this kill in no time at all. And geez, this is... The brain snap.
The dodges are exquisite.
They were, but the brain snap. What a throw.
Yeah, not the greatest decision for sure. You have to accept that you lost the Baron at that point. Instead, they give up another kill and use their teleport. The game is not over yet. They can still come back with the 4-item Aphelios later on in the game, of course. He used Flash again, but way too late. And he had Stopwatch and Flash against Malphite ult. Why didn't he managed to do that. Let's
we come
look
back
at
to
𝗂𝗧𝗧.
live. We don't have time for replays. As 𝗂𝗃𝗃's been found, he's not having the impact on this Wukong. Artifacts on the run. There's the unstoppable force. They want to get this Bard. He's a sack of 300 gold for 𝗬𝗎𝗋. Teleport called. And I think our match of the week has 3 parts.
It's not, I mean, it definitely looks like that is going to happen, but we have to always think about 𝗁𝗃 and the late game, of course, from the machine, from the 200 years. He's moving to 3 items.
Oh, I mean, I think this game might be ending imminently. He does have the 200 years cannon loaded up. He takes a lot of damage. They're all grouped. The Infernum, if it crits, it will do a lot of damage, but I don't think it's enough. Artifact gets caught. He goes into the smoke. DNK drops the barrel, but they're going to have to go now. The Nexus is exposed. 𝗂𝗧𝗏 is trying to hit it. GAM is running away. Can Team Secret get the fight at their base? They're charging forward. 𝗧𝗏 throws a hook. It's not enough yet. 𝗂𝗃 in the middle of the enemy team. He's spinning. He knocks up 𝗬𝗎𝗋, but the lantern ends the fight. And now GAM sees the health bar lead, and ding, 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 boys! We're going for round 3, as they want this Nexus now, and they call it off. Woo!
They get very close to ending the game at 28 minutes, paying back for the game 1, but it's not quite over. 7k gold lead, though. They are in the commanding position and should be able to break another inhibitor shortly. Can Celebrity do anything about this? Instead, Venus is the one to engage on 𝗂𝗧𝗏.
He's getting out of there.
Yeah, he's
Secret.
just running away.
Secret needs to be very careful, as there is nothing guarding their Nexus at the moment. It goes down very fast to Tier-1 leave.
Yeah, they don't have TPs right now, GAM that is, so no real backdoor potential. And I feel like Team Secret should just choose to give up the next dragon. It's not Ocean Soul yet, so you don't really lose much by just giving up 1 dragon. Try to get your big carries to level 16 to the next item breakpoint, and you have 1 last stand to come back into the game. And if you win that, then suddenly you're in an okay position, because GAM only took 1 inhibitor. So once that respawns, it's not super easy to kill Team Secret's Nexus, or destroy Team Secret's Nexus. Maybe it's a living being, who knows?
Maybe.
Some of those Nexuses move, especially in other game modes.
GAM pushing down the bot side. They want to get full priority on this side of the map for the Dragon's spawn. They will let the inner tower die. Never ever take a final stand at this inner tower. Just don't. Let it die. And Team Secret knows that. We have to put a lot of pressure on Celebrity here. He needs to be the big 3-item Aphelios that he can be. Bard ult will hit a whole lot of nothing. A hook onto DNK, he goes gold, but 𝗂𝗃 has arrived. The Wukong is spinning, but there's so much damage coming out of GAM. 𝗂𝗃 is dead. Celebrity's still alive. He throws the ult. He's got the chakrams, but it's just not enough. And GAM will take this inhibitor. GAM shows that apparently brute force will win the day on some occasions, as they beat down the Nexus and take back their crown for now. We're going to game 3. Whew.
And we are. And this is the game match of the week, living up to the hype. GAM comes back on red side, their preferred choice. We will have Team Secret move back to the red side, but this one looked much more like a GAM game than the first one. Team Secret not able to play their brainy style with all the rotations in their favor. Instead, they were sucked into the skirmishes. Too many aggressive dice called for Team Secret in this game, and it backfired horribly, with Tier 1 going up to an 4-0 lead early on in the game.
Yep. And we do see what happens when you play GAM's game. They're better than you at it. Don't fall for their tricks, Team Secret, or this could be a GAM victory. And that would be a very big scalp for them, looking forward at the rest of the split. This is an important series for sure. Now, MVP discussion. Yeah, surely, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has to be DR1 for his early game. Great TPs, perfect execution when he came in. So a lot of impact. They couldn't play around mid lane anymore because he had just built straight into more and was so tanky against the double AP mid jungle duo. So he just stood there and was basically a tank with a lot of damage. Great atomization, great play. 𝗬𝗎 for sure.
Yep, that it will locked in. And I hope you are all locked and loaded for Game 3 of this series. How could we have our match of the week being a 2-0? We wanted it to go to 3. Team Secret, of course, will go back to red side. 100% win rate there. But will that remain true? Find out right here on VCS English. We'll be back in just over 5 minutes to guide you through the last game. See you soon. Welcome back, everybody, to Game 3 of our Match of the Week. It's the very last game of Week 4 of the VCS, brought to you by VCS English. I'm so happy to be here. Our Match of the Week has been a cracker so far. A lot of fun in both games. 1-1, of course. And Yulwei, what are the most important things we need to watch Game 3?
So we have Secret back on red side, so let's see what 𝗀𝗃𝗃 has in store for us here. Does GAM hard focus 𝗀𝗃𝗃 in draft, or did they let him get away with another counter pick? So far on the counters, he has looked incredible. 𝗬𝗂 in the last game, not quite up to standard, so that's a very important thing to focus on. I also want to highlight 𝗬𝗏 Jace. We know he only plays one champion if it's open, so why not just ban it away? Yeah, throw a ban at it, try to push him on something else. He hasn't looked as comfortable on the other champs. He has played Jace now 7 times, I think, already the split, so I really don't understand why you don't prioritize that one.
They're banning the 𝗧𝗏, and like, okay, that sounds like what you're saying, don't ban 𝗧𝗏. Yeah, up against GAM, you don't have to ban 𝗧𝗏. 𝗚𝗏 is not who wins GAM games, like... And we've seen him, like, we've seen GAM pick 𝗧𝗏, admittedly. It was 𝗀𝗔𝗠, not 𝗚𝗏, and, well, he tanked 𝗀𝗏𝗺's KDA in the stats, let's say.
Oh, yeah.
Let's put it that way. That was a pretty disgusting performance. Again, wasn't 𝗚𝗏. I don't want to mislead. But I feel like, don't ban ADCs, just ban the Jace. Like, guys, 𝗬𝗏 plays one champion. Force him to do something else. Come on.
Especially after that performance.
Yeah.
So here we are in draft for the last game of the week. Match of the week will be decided, and it's such an important one. Can Team Secret open up a gap between them and GAM for the second half of the split, or can GAM close the gap to 𝗏𝗏, who they just lost to, and tie Team Secret at second place at 4-2?
So far, is the Syndra and Renekton removed? They don't want to go up against the 𝗁𝗏 again. They saw how good it could be in game 1. Don't want to let DNK have a second bite of the apple. Jace.
Can Team Secret pick away the Jace? Maybe for 𝗀𝗃𝗃 as a blind pick?
A waste of red side. I don't like
it. That's true. We haven't have we seen 𝗏𝗏𝗃 play Jace? I'll just check my stat card. Nope, he hasn't played the Jace so far. It's not really an 𝗏𝗏𝗃 champion. He prefers the AP champs. He only played one AD champ so far. The Yasuo, of course.
𝗚𝗏s is the final ban from Secret. I'm not a huge fan of that. GAM doesn't play AD junglers because they always play Jace.
Agree.
I'm not a huge fan of this one. How will GAM start?
It's a little bit of a tier list ban.
And
of course we go Jace first pick. That makes a lot of sense. GAM with a lot of confidence in this last game. It might be 𝗬𝗏𝗺. Blind picking is top laner. We still don't know, but most of the time the Jace has gone to 𝗬𝗏, of course.
Of course. This is risky. Secret, do you have an answer to it? Because they didn't last game. I think the Nidalee ban was actually really smart as well, because they knew they wanted to first pick Jace, but they didn't want to let DNK have that one. But 𝗁𝗏 flipped through. Celebrity will move 𝗁𝗏.
And GAM isn't really the team to play hard counter lanes against 𝗁𝗏, so 𝗁𝗏, of course, is still a super strong champ on top of that, but he even is very unlikely to be countered here. Senna Wukong are up. We could see the Senna Wukong, but I highly doubt that.
Possible, as 𝗀𝗏 as well, taking away a very strong support. I like this first rotation out of Team Secret. This is very tier list. This is very bog standard strong.
And 𝗀𝗏 crowned himself the king of support champs because he just won a game against Bard, the 2 highest win rate supports against each other. And Bard tanked his win rate big time in the last game. Of course, it's probably still sitting at around 80%, but not quite as high as 𝗀𝗏's anymore.
Yep, and Ashe for 𝗚𝗏𝗺. It was pretty rough last game. It didn't really do anything, but didn't have to do anything. And we have the 2 kings of the support role going up against each other. Bard versus 𝗀𝗏. The 2 highest win rate supports in the VCS, we've had some incredible games for both of these champions. One has to.
Yeah. And this time they flip. So Bard now in the hands of Slay. Oh no. Oh, I am getting scared.
I'm very
Why
scared
do
for
you
Team
go
Secret.
Echo?
Why? What is that for? Why have you done it in the first rotation of picks?
I mean, it could still be flexed, right?
Yeah.
It's a flex between jungle and mid lane.
Oh,
Maybe a
hang on.
takeaway from Levi,
Yeah,
who
they're about to
actually
ban
played
two
this
AP
one a lot.
junglers. They're about to ban two AP junglers. That's the call.
So maybe DNK can show us his AP jungle. So far, he's very much focused on AD junglers. So a little bit of a switch of style. Levi, of course, still has his Lee Sin if he wants to go to something AD heavy. But then you're forced to pick Mordekaiser or something in the top lane to provide at least a little bit of AP. Or you just have to hard smash early game. So this ban strategy makes I feel like you pick a different AP jungler though if you want to go for this ban strategy. Echo, I guess he can be flexed. So how does Echo do into Jace?
They don't actually ban only AP junglers. They take the Olaf. There's still so many things Levi could go towards that I'm not 100% sure.
Olaf is not a Levi champion. Really not something he prefers. Nocturne got buffed in this patch or the last patch? I think 10-13, so he could be on the table again. Levi was a very famous Nocturne player, of course. Also pulled him out in the world. Malphite ban now for GAM. They want to blind pick Wukong. This heavily indicates AP jungle plus Jace mid lane. So Secret should be able to read that as well. And they will lock in jungle or mid lane here to give coded counterpick most likely.
Oh dear, I'm very confused. They've gone the Irelia given the potential counter to 𝗂𝗃. This is strange.
I mean, this could still be mid lane. This is a lot of flexes now coming in for Secret. Could be mid lane Irelia and jungle Echo, or top lane Irelia and mid lane Echo, or top lane Irelia and jungle Echo. So a slot still open. A lot of questions now for GAM. Will they just answer with a generic top lane? Renekton is up, I think. No, it's banned. So
go the Wukong with Jax available.
Jax is open.
They're throwing down the gauntlet here.
Still not locked in. They are debating this one.
There it
Could
is.
cost them the game if they run into the Jax counter.
But they might be they might think, they have to know this is happening. They know that was the last pick. The Jax was guaranteed. Coded rips out the specialty. It will be Echo Jungle then. A strange team comp for Team Secret. The lanes are good. Is the comp?
This is something we've seen before. The ADC just being there to provide a little bit of poke and the rest goes in and jumps forward. Also, insanely high split push potential, of course, with Jax and Irelia in the solo lanes. Artifact's Irelia last split and last year was very impressive. Irelia into Jace. Interesting matchup. Of course, she still has her 50% damage reduction against AD champions, so as an AD champ counterpick, she still works in the mid lane, and if Jace ever oversteps, she can punish him. So I'm really glued to the mid lane here. This should be the game-deciding matchup. Dia1 on his most comfortable champion, the champion just went 10-2 with, against Artifact on a new one. Already a first game so far in this season.
Very spooky here, for sure. This is a hard one to read. I'm not a huge fan of playing melee into Dia1's Jace. But, I mean, traditionally, Irelia was okay into Jace. It was kind of always a bit of a skill matchup, a bit of a not a handshake, but it's kind of even trades. It's tricky. Really tricky.
And now is the time we finally get to see 𝗂𝗃 and Coded both on bruisers, both on champs that can make stuff happen in the lane already. So we might just see the two best top laners most likely fight it out in top lane, and one of the two has to come out on top. Coded with a counter pick, so he's favored just from champion matchup. We've seen 𝗂𝗃 do some very spooky stuff, so maybe he can even overcome this counter pick.
So something that we've spoken about in the past, win conditions. Can you outline these two teams' win conditions Start with GAM. How do they win this game, Yulwei? Where do they focus? What do they do?
They just play like they always do, and they have so much engaged, so much skirmishing power. Early game is where it's at for them. Level 6 is an insane power spike. Force fights around Dragon, around Herald, and yeah, just propel to insane gold advantage to bring it home. That is the GAM way. They have a lot of tools in their arsenal, and it's looking quite likely to happen.
Absolutely. What about Team Secret? What do they need to do to take the big win?
Team Secret has drafted...
is don't play GAM's game. Play your game. But
absolutely.
More specifically, what do you think?
I think Team Secret has followed our narrative of the brain draft here with a lot of potential for 1v1 outplays. If they opt into team fights, it has to be well executed with a lot of finesse coming from the top side. It's really on the top side here to carry Celebrity, of course, needs to provide a lot of damage, but Artifact and Coated need to overcome the juggernauts of 𝗬𝗺 to do a lot in this game. And then into the side lane, no one can really stand up to Irelia and Jax, two of the strongest side laners. So it's all about split pushing. It's all about coordination and finesse in the team fights.
Yep, and just to confirm, because this is actually something the VCS needs to confirm, it will be lethality Varus. He has the Comet. It makes sense. There's very little armor potential on the other side. It will only be small amounts of armor, no dedicated tank. How do they help 𝗬𝗺 in this matchup? A good level 2 definitely helps out as he gets full lane control now. This is not a good start for Coated.
Yeah, I mean, level 1. Level 1 Wukong is one of the strongest champs in the game in trades, so probably took a bad one there for Coated. His jungler is pathing down towards the bot side, so he's in a little bit of a bad situation here. I'm not quite sure what his skill on Jax level 2. We can see E and Q so far, so much more about the disengage, not going to go for the empower, not going for the big trades. Just wanting to collect as many CS as possible. The matchup will turn the later the game goes. Of course, we saw Coated dominate on Jax already. He's going to lose some CS here and there, and a very good start for 𝗬𝗺, who's dominated the lane. One of the biggest strengths for 𝗬𝗺 is just how well he plays lane in terms of positioning.
Coated aggressive there, just trying to get any damage he can back. Wants to try and even out the health bars because he has the corrupting pot. The biscuits are even. Levi, with the first step to the scuttle, will be able to get that bot side. But Coated wants to get us going with a bang. There's the decoy. There's a flash. And Coated takes down 𝗬𝗺. He wants to be the best top laner in the VCS. And he draws a big old mark. But it's going to be answered back as Levi into the mid line. And he takes the kill. 1 for 1. And we start with a bang.
Will it be another bang in the bot lane?
Oh, nope, it could
just
be,
a little bit of trading.
I don't think so.
So, Coated showing 𝗬𝗺 that he is here to be the best top laner in the league. Maybe not in terms of wave control, but certainly in terms of punishing overextensions. And it's one of the best champs to chase someone down, of course, on Jax. Wukong himself is very good at that, but not quite as good as escaping. So let's take a look at the top lane again. How did this all start? What did 𝗬𝗺 do? So Coated saw the opportunity to punish him. Coated both level 3. Coated jumps on him.
Just chases him down.
So the problem here is 𝗬𝗺 knows he can't win auto attack trades against Counter-Strike and takes a little too long to fight back. So Coated just softens him up. This is just an E-flash. Very nicely done from Levi.
I actually think there was a really big misread by Artifact there. 𝗬𝗺 isn't going to go for that trade without his jungler nearby. He hit the flawless duet and could have walked away, and maybe you lose the damage trade slightly, but he went really aggressive, and it was super easy to get the E-flash. Coated needs to be careful. He goes very low there.
Yeah, Coated still has flash though, so that he even traded. He got a kill without investing his flash, so now he's safe and has an advantage, gold advantage. So it's a very good position. We'll try to reset here to fill up his corrupting pod, get back into a better position to trade. As we see some more trades in the mid lane, Artifact just flying across all the minions. Up in CS, surprisingly enough.
I haven't seen an Irelia in a little while, so it's always, I always think more is going on in that lane than really is, because she's zoop, 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 zoop. I'm like, oh my god, what is she doing? She's gonna go in. No, I'm just farming.
Yeah, very fun champ to watch, very unfun champ to play against. Yeah. Very annoying.
Speaking of unfun, that is Team Secret picking up a plate in the bot lane. 𝗎𝗍𝗺 will not be happy about this one. This big wave as well up top. Ooh.
And 𝗀𝗃𝗃 will be able to collect all of these minions, or should be able to. So we'll close the CS gap. It's still there. It's probably around like 9 CS. Oh, he actually misses some of those.
A lot there.
So yeah, he's still on disadvantage in CS, which isn't too bad because he got the punish kill. So he's in a good position. He's also just scaling up. Look at all his items, just looking to survive the laning phase. And can GAM do anything with Wukong? He doesn't have the TP, so Wukong going up top. This isolates top lane matchup, which is very good for 𝗀𝗃𝗃. GAM will get the first dragon uncontested, as DNK is just too far behind Levi and Pathing. But it gives them time to scale them, I mean TS, of course. And all their champs just want to get to a better point. Isolating top lane is super valuable, because Jax already showed he can 1v1 the Wukong. And Wukong is much more impactful in early team fights. So this one is going well for Team Secret so far.
So far it is. They have to keep this up, though, and not give too much away. We do see a blue buff steal going on. Levi, we're trading a dragon for your blue buff. Yeah, I think you take the dragon half of that one. He's not going to be too upset about losing that. But, of course, it's very nice for DNK to get an extra blue here on the Echo.
Not everything is going to 𝗀𝗃𝗃. 𝗀𝗃𝗃 really wanted that blue buff, as he saw. He was really going back to the blue buff. DNK shut him down. He was like, nope, I'm an AP jungler. I'm a carry jungler. I need this one. If I play Trundle, okay, maybe I give it to you, but not this game. Fair enough.
𝗀𝗃𝗃 going in. 𝗀𝗃𝗃 will smack him back a few times. I really like this from 𝗀𝗃𝗃. I think it's really smart. You might say executioners, but early on, Jax doesn't have that much healing. Time Warp Tonic is very strong, and it is a lot of burst healing. I think he's taken it. I need to watch his corrupting pot closer. He might have gone, he hasn't got magical boots. I'm not sure what other inspiration rune he'd have. It has to be Time Warp. But watch his corrupting pot next time and we'll find out. That's what the 𝗬𝗍𝗺's for. And it's very smart.
Oh, very smart ward for 𝗀𝗃𝗃𝗃 there, spotting a potential lane gang from Levi. And Levi is here. Can Levi wrap around in the alcove?
I think
probably
he'd be
is
spotted
there.
on the way out. Oh, nope, he's just recalling. Doesn't have flash.
So, and they saw him. There's a ping from 𝗀𝗃𝗃𝗃, so they definitely know where he is. No real time to punish anything on the other side of the map, so just a reset. And once again, pushing in the way for 𝗀𝗃𝗃 to... He gets time to move out of lane, but this position is not super advantageous for him. Needs to be careful to not get punished again, run down by 𝗀𝗃𝗃, who still has his flash available. And in terms of combat stats, they are kind of even right now, but I would favor 𝗀𝗃𝗃 in a 1v1.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of combat stats, I do think 𝗀𝗃𝗃 is actually pretty ahead, but the matchup kind of means that Jax wins it anyway, just because of how good Counter-Strike is against Wukong. As long as it's timed correctly. Look at this. Good trades. At the moment, 𝗀𝗃𝗃 winning this lane pretty hard. 𝗀𝗃𝗃's gone the cull. He knows he wants to spike later, which is, of course, very standard for Jax. Late game monster.
No Sheen so far. Kind of takes away a lot of the trading potential for Jax. Sheen and Empower is so much burst damage. So far, 𝗀𝗃𝗃 definitely controlling that one. And he's once again jumping on 𝗀𝗃𝗃. 𝗀𝗃𝗃 half HP in the top lane.
Yep. DNK's first step
does he
on
have
the map.
to surrender
Look
the
at
wave?
this parallel convergence. We're going in. 𝗎𝗍𝗺 taking a lot of damage. The big Bard ult is instantly cleansed on the hook. That was a bit of a strange one. As in the end, just some summoners.
So, I mean, a good attempt from DNK. He didn't really invest too much time to do this. All his jungle is, especially his bot side jungle, is basically gone. And 𝗀𝗃𝗃 gives up so much in the top lane. Another plating. So now, in terms of gold, 𝗀𝗃𝗃 is far ahead. 𝗀𝗃𝗃 really showing him how kills are not the only thing you need to know about laning. He's outperforming in terms of wave management and small little traits that okay.
Oh, artifact!
Speaking of small little traits.
Oh, that Ash Arrow, I actually think that gives a lot away because now they know exactly where 𝗬𝗎𝗺 is. They could see where it came from. Not going to matter too much.
Ahead in the rotation, so this should just be the Herald. They can break top lane turrets, so Team Secret needs to find a way to stop this from happening.
Pretty aggressive here, moving very far forward. Venus flashes in, hits a whole lot of air. Team Secret, they're trying to guard the eye. That's what they're doing here. Don't let them pick it up.
40 seconds.
Moving in. It's not that long anymore, is it? As here they go. 𝗬𝗎 going forward. 𝗬𝗎 grabs the eye. Venus needs a way out. Whoa, you've just pulled your ADC next to a Wukong. What did you just do? What are Team Secret doing? Oh, God, no. We don't want it to happen like this. 𝗀𝗃𝗃 is on top of Levi and 𝗬𝗎𝗺. He does not have a counter-strike. And it's all gone wrong. Team Secret, I beg you, stop playing GAM's game. This is what happens when you do.
It's a 5-4-0 ace for GAM, and they get the Herald on top of that. It's disaster for Team Secret. This is the biggest thing that could have happened. They tried to fight back, but the ADC was caught out. 𝗬𝗎𝗺 with a very aggressive jump on top of him. And then, I mean, Venus, what can Venus do? He was positioned there, so the Lantern is only going to get him there. Not really on Venus, just try to get him the shield. And Celebrity decided to take the Lantern. Maybe not the smartest decision. I think he was dead anyway. Look at this again.
Why did they take this fight? Just back off. Venus, walk away. Walk away.
Yeah, at this point, it's probably not going to be a winning fight for you. They are still in kind of a good position here, but Celebrity doesn't. He steps back. He should have. Celebrity steps back and isolates himself. So now 𝗬𝗎𝗺 is just going to one-shot him. So Venus dead already too. So it's a 2-for-0 trade here. Artifact goes in, gets very close to killing 𝗬𝗎𝗺, but Exhaust. Gets the job done. And on the other side, it's super close too. But in the end, everything goes wrong for Team Secret, and they are very, very far behind.
This is a very big mistake. They're going to try and get something back here. But this is Tilt League of Legends. Look at DNK. He's got the chrono. He doesn't... Just surrender. Game's over. They've tilted. The mental break has happened. Game's over.
He wanted to wait for his phase shift again, but he didn't even ult. Hello? Just ult out of there. It's a collapse. It's a complete collapse. And Team Secret is going for plays all over the map and just giving up one kill after the other. 8-1 for GAM. They break the first turret in the top lane.
Is Team Secret going to finally get something back? Still no. 𝗬𝗎𝗺's here. Venus will die here as well. And that's it. The mental has broken. Ooh, Venus actually survives because of the Lantern Shield. But I don't know if Team Secret have the fortitude to come back. Their comp scales, but I don't know if their brain does.
They're so far behind now. They need to cut everything and just wait for their comp to get alive. Look at Celebrity taking turret aggro here, just dying to the turret. Oh my God, that is so... and now DNK, that is so even worse. You can press at any point. Alt. Yikes. That is all you can say to that one. There is Tilted Jungler who just wanted his kill.
Oh no.
He wanted his Dark Harvest.
Going. This is what happens when GAM gets ahead. They get happy, the other team gets sad.
Well, it's a very good execution for GAM. They are really firing on all cylinders. They are coming at them in every single lane, counterplaying everything Team Secret is attempting. 2 dragons up, 3K, almost 4K gold lead, 9-1 in kills. It's only going to get to a very, very strong... they are going to be super strong in the mid game, is what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
The Trinity is already there for 𝗬𝗎𝗺, very far away from the Trinity still from 𝗀𝗃𝗃, so he's not even close to that one.
The potential saving grace is it's a mountain soul. Probably actually the worst soul for GAM, as maybe Team Secret can just give up every objective for 15 minutes and then ride a Jax. I don't even know if that's going to be enough, and I don't know if they'll make that call.
Yeah, the contest on Herald was really a little bit of a disaster, especially because the implications now are they want to contest the other objectives too. Let's see if they can adapt their playstyle and show us that they truly are a top team and deserve to be placed high, rated highly in when they have in-game adaptations. And
Ooh, this
might be the first one.
This is a bit dangerous, though. There's a Bard ult to buy time. The rest of the team is here. Teleport's coming in, but look how strong Tier 1 is. They're trying to get gold back, but it's just not working. 𝗀𝗃 will find one. Can they turn it? Slay is low. The shutdown picked up, and signs of life are detected.
Very good play for Team Secret. Staying in the bush and waiting for GAM to approach. So GAM almost turns it around because of the big gold lead, but they get another kill on 𝗀𝗃. They finish his Trinity Force, so he's now a force to be reckoned with. And another shutdown to Celebrity, so he accelerates his very cheap item path. 2 turrets, though, traded back for GAM. So overall, the gold trade wasn't that advantageous, but where the gold went is quite good for Team Secret. The allocation went in their way.
Like 𝗀𝗃 picking up those kills is good. The Varus is on the 𝗚𝗔𝗠 as well. But it is not easy to play even lethality Varus, which is meant to be so safe, into this GAM comp. They will hunt him down. Find him. This Echo jungle has utterly failed. I'm not sure what the decision was. Force Levi down the champion pool. Dude, he plays everything.
Especially everything that has AP written on it. And Gragas is one of his most played champs of all time, so it's really not something you can kind of oversee with Levi. He's very famous for his Gragas too. So yeah, the Echo was a very questionable pick. So far hasn't worked out. Of course, Echo scales well. And if he gets one miracle fight where he gets like 3 kills, suddenly he's a big menace in later team fights. It seems like DNK is a little bit tilted, though. After that bot lane play was horrible.
I have to ask the question, like, Team Secret going into this, before this series started, we're like, okay, so they always try and make a play around the Herald. They really like setting up for that. It's actually one of their really good things to watch, is how they set up for the Herald. Game 1 and 2, they shifted their focus. They realized, we don't need to go for that Herald, it's okay. So why did they int it this game? You've done it right 2 games in a row. You've done it even better every series up to now, and now you've lost the game at the bloody Herald.
That's a very good question to ask, and I feel like they just made the call to say, okay, we lost the Herald, but we really can't lose the eye, or we have to protect the eye, because this is going to break top lane. This is going to put 𝗀𝗃 too far behind. He needs the safety of the turret. And that's why they made the call. Who knows who went for that call? Maybe it was 𝗀𝗃, maybe someone else. In the end, it cost them big time. Also, some very big mechanical misexecutions in that fight, especially from the bot lane. And positioning mistakes, I'd say, even over mechanical misexecutions. Can they come back? They actually have closed the gold gap to a mere 3k now at 18 minutes, which isn't the biggest we've ever seen, especially in GAM games. So Team Secret putting up a good fight from behind, at least.
Yeah.
The Dragon Snowball is still very real, but as you said, the Mountain Soul might not be the strongest one here.
Yeah. I think this game is pretty much 100% over if we're on Infernal or Ocean Rift. But with it being Mountain, of course, Mountain Soul is very nice, just to be tankier, and it hurts the lethality Varus, but it doesn't win the game on its own. Maybe there's potential.
It's not super useful for the side laners. Mountain Soul will not really turn the matchup, especially in top lane. I don't think so.
They just took Dragon. You have to know that. Run away.
He has flashed an ultimate. He flashed to the turret. Okay, yeah. He has ultimate. It's hard to dive him, though.
It is. He's trying everything. He's zipping, he's zapping, he's dodging every which way. Another counter-strike, but it's not enough. 𝗀𝗃. He tried to break ankles, but they were wearing good shoes.
And GAM with a very smart decision to just utilize Shirley to break the turret so 𝗀𝗃 can't go back to the safety of his turret. He was basically counting on the fact that the turret and his counter-strike would make him tanky enough to survive the 3. With no turret standing, they have all the time in the world to chase him down. A little bit of a misjudgment there for 𝗀𝗃. It's a tower trade, 2 turrets for 1 and another kill. So now GAM back to a 4k gold lead, 3 dragons to their name. It's getting closer and closer. How will they play to close out this game? 20 minutes in. Baron is on the table. Can they play around Baron? Their Baron speed is okay.
Pretty good.
It's actually quite decent.
Pretty quick. Faster than Secrets, for sure.
For sure. But Team Secret can go jump over the wall with almost every single champion there, so it's quite hard to sneak that one away. And Team Secret now has to work on their vision to prevent Baron sneak from happening.
Yeah, and I think we are starting to see some of the results of the draft of Team Secret outthinking themselves a bit too much. They've just picked some strange things that they haven't played all split, while GAM has just gone for the tried and true, right? GAM didn't change anything. They played basically the same team 3 times in a row. And it looks like it's going to work out at the moment. Of course, not over completely yet, while Team Secret have pulled out this Irelia and Echo, and both of them haven't done anything yet.
I would really like to see the goal totals right now, because a lot of the kills for GAM actually went Slay's way. He's 5-1-4. 5 kills, by far the highest of his team, so might actually not be the greatest goal allocation. Of course, he has a lot of utility now for team fights.
Dodged. Way.
Yep. Still another jungle camp denied. DNK is only level 11 to Levi's level 13, so he's falling behind further and further in the jungle. It's really not looking too great for Team Secret. But GAM has kind of slowed down the game. They can't really play around anything, just stealing away jungle camps to grow the gold lead and maybe find a spot.
𝗀𝗔𝗃 still wins this 1v1, which is good. But
that's very good news, yeah.
To use some of the knowledge, oh no, I might have to come back to it as DNK is getting caught by everything. He can't even press the ult. Echo's dead. They're right next to Baron. Oh dear.
Is that flash available?
Is this the nail in the coffin? I kind of feel like it might be. The hammer is definitely drawing down. There's no chance of a contest. 𝗀𝗃 is not even close. And this has been a bit of a shocker by Team Secret. Not how we want to close our match of the week out. But it looks like Secret want to contest. There is a lot of that Baron debuff. The poke is there, but in they go. The Cyclone doing everything. 𝗀𝗃 cannot do enough, and that is GAM hard winning another fight. 𝗂𝗃 says, what? You think you're the best top in the league? Not yet, mate.
There we go. GAM with a good turn. They recognize that this could be quite dangerous for them if they continue this. But now DNK is back alive. He has Flash, E, and Blast Cone available to get into the pit. Can he do anything? Can he be the miracle worker? Can he somehow steal this away?
Levi doesn't miss smites. It's one of the things he's so good at. They're not even going to get it low enough to give him a chance. He's already used the chrono break. And he's going to get hunted down by Dia1. And I'm afraid we might be seeing a dark, dark day as once again, GAM's very aggressive, perhaps not good League of Legends, but aggressive League of Legends will be taking the series. I can't see Team Secret getting back in this. Well,
I mean, GAM has definitely earned this victory in the last game. They have out-teamed Team Secret so much in this game and playing team fights almost perfectly. Team Secret tried to go for a very, very different composition, something they haven't tried so far. It has utterly failed in the jungle especially. Yeah, and the counter-pick Jax, that looked so good for 𝗀𝗃. Hasn't worked out this time. 4-1-4 for 𝗂𝗃.
I just get upset when we have our match of the week. We have one game that's a good showing by Team Secret, but then GAM fires back. And then in the last game, I mean, yeah, GAM's played well. They've executed their mechanics, which GAM always does. But did GAM win or did Team Secret lose? That Herald play, GAM didn't make them do that. That was all Team Secret.
This is a very fair point.
This is the final.
They want to continue the fight onto their Nexus.
Yep, this feels like more tilt play out of Secret. You have to know you don't win this. The parallel convergence lands. DNK is in the pit, but it's a 3-level difference. If they can blow Levi up, maybe they have a chance. DNK has access to the ult, but Celebrity's dead. That's 2 for the Bard, 1 for the Wukong, and a series for GAM is pretty much in the bag now.
There is another fight. You said it best. You have to know you can't win this fight. I think Team Secret probably knows, but they also don't see a way to get back into the game. So why not just flip it? Maybe GAM makes a crucial mistake. Maybe you can somehow get more kills back, get back into the game. Not the case. GAM with a 4-0, and this will mean Inhibitor cannot even be a game. I think the timers are way too short. But it's Inhibitor.
It is GAM,
and
though.
they can just set up for the next one.
They might try this. 𝗀𝗃 has a flank. Really, Team Secret? You smashed your head into the brick wall twice. The brick wall hasn't changed. Your forehead is still gonna hurt. What are you doing?
It's definitely hurting right now. And this will open up another Inhibitor. 𝗂𝗃 has prepared the wave. He's level 16. He's a big threat. So they just walk in, get another one. Will they try to finish right here, right now?
I think they will. Why not? 𝗀𝗃 was the strongest member of the team by far, and he is dead. This has been an absolute walk in the park for GAM. We wanted a close game 3. We did not get it, but we did get GAM taking the win over Team Secret and proving that VCS raw aggression can still work.
GAM getting away with a loss against Flash and a win over Team Secret this week. What a weird week for GAM. What a weird overall split for GAM so far. But they are once again successful, moving to 4-2, tying Team Secret and, of course, Flash at that second place. Still behind in terms of game score, because they have dropped a lot of games. But they overcome Team Secret, and that is the first speed bump for this newly ravaging team on the other side. The first loss was coated in. They lost the first series, of course, against Cerberus when they played with Zika and looked very lost, but since then have looked like one of the strongest, if not the strongest team. Today is the first hurdle they were not able to overcome. 𝗂𝗃 will be supreme in the top lane.
Absolutely. He maintains the position of best top laner. And while you have a think about MVP for Game 3, you put in Discord who you're putting for Player of the Series, because I can't decide. And I have to throw us to another screen just to do it, because Discord's... You're going to see the VN casters for a bit. I'm sure they did a great job. I don't speak Vietnamese. Ugh. This is...
So, the MVP discussion is... this game, I feel like... We are probably going to give it to Slay. Or did we? Yeah, I think he had so many great bar plays. He stole a lot of those kills. Maybe not the greatest target, but in the end he made it work anyway. Got another double kill in the last team fight. So whoever has him on Sleeper can be very happy for all the kills he collected as a support. Bloodthirsty, as 𝗀𝗃 would like it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, as long as the kills happen, it doesn't really matter. And yep, we will be giving Player of the Series over to 𝗂𝗃. He only needs one champion. Apparently it's 𝗂𝗃 trick, as he plays Jace every game, and teams haven't figured out that you're allowed to just ban it, you know? You can just
It's not Pulsefire. You can actually ban the champions you don't want to play against.
Like, why is no one banning it? He's so good on this champion. Like, okay, maybe you're scared of, oh, well, what'll he play if he doesn't play? You should be scared of the Jace as well, though, guys. Come on now.
For sure. What a performance from Jace again. And also shout out to 𝗂𝗃, able to play against this counter. He, of course, got solo killed in lane, but he still dominated 𝗀𝗃 for the rest of the laning phase. He had so much more impact in team fights. That's what Wukong offers. That's why he's blind picked in so many regions, even if there are some counters, especially for red side. Big impact for 𝗂𝗃. Just overall, GAM looking way stronger in the fights today and moving back up to being maybe in title contention after a very questionable first few weeks. They moved to 4-2.
They definitely looked better today, and whatever we say about perhaps wanting better team play, you have to give them credit that their top side remains by far the most skilled in the league. There is no one even contesting those three, I don't think, as a trio. Maybe someone in the individual lanes, but not as a trio. And that got them over the line today. It was more than enough. That brings our week of VCS to a close. Was a exciting one for sure. Bookended by some very, very good series. We hope you enjoyed it. Of course, I have been every day. With me has been Yulwei. We missed Vinnie tonight, but he's, of course, been a big part of the week. We hope he feels a little bit better tomorrow, or at least by the next week. We don't care about you during the week. Just be good for the weekend, mate. But with that, we'll be signing off. Thank you again for being here. We hope you enjoyed it. You should go down below the stream. Join the Discord community. If you want, you could support us on Patreon. We're still trying to work out rewards for patrons so that it's actually worth it. If you've got suggestions, hit us up. We're all ears. You also could just donate if you want to support us. We'd appreciate it, but of course, don't feel obligated. We will see you next Friday, same time, same place, for more VCS action. See you next week.